Hello and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. My name is Steve Boshier and ArchoniaFest is over. But we still have a game to finish. So this is OSR Plus. If you don't know our channel, this is Shadows of Archonia, and this show is Tales from the Backlog. And this game is OSR Plus, Advanced Old School Revival. 2 squares above me is the creator of it, who is also our GM. My hands are not going to come out the other side. On Monday nights on Tales from the Backlog, we do short 1 to 3 session games in all sorts of different systems. On Friday nights, we have an ongoing campaign in Worlds Without Number. And we just finished our 5th year celebration, which lasted all week last week, of which the first episode of this game was part. So that's a complicated story. But if you don't know who we are, please follow our channel. We're on Twitch and YouTube right now, so go ahead and follow, subscribe, whatever the relevant activity is on your platform. And come join our Discord. I'm going to put that in the Twitch chat. And in the meantime, Daniel, why don't you tell us what we're up to tonight?
Yeah, so we are continuing our foray into Fat Bottom Inn, which is a starter adventure in OSR Plus. I figure, do you want to do a little recap and then we'll get right back into it? Yeah? So, recap. Just to resituate where we were. So we, in terms of the session 0 and setting things up, I feel like I would summarize session 0 as where's the opal, So basically, this world is a world that was once ruled over by the High People. Their city was destroyed, and you guys are all embroiled in a conflict that results from a BBEG we designed in the first episode. This villain, Kendra, was planning world domination with an army of clockwork that she is engineering by experimenting on people. This is all the stuff that you've decided. She intended to genocide her own people in order to consolidate power. She originally had this magic opal that was stolen by a whole variety of you guys throughout the course of the session 0. I believe in the end, it's in the hands of Takis, and it's powering her little clockwork companion because she's a little obsessed with that companion at first.
He's so handsome.
But he's handsome. He's rotund, you said, which is lovely.
Bronze and rotund.
Bronze, so it's very shiny. So as a result of that, you'll have various bonds that we set up and wired together. But at the end of the day, you guys were going to the Fat Bottom Inn to find some captains because you're on the run from this Kendra, in hopes of possibly gathering allies and maybe striking back against her. So you were looking for Jafar Faht, who is the proprietor of this place. However, it seems, based on the people who have taken over this inn, that he has retired and sold the property to Felix Underwood and his clockwork friend Edwin Graves Harrington. While in there, you talked to Lord Donovan, one of the captains, gained his interest, and so you have a potential crew tomorrow morning. You guys are really tired. It's late at night. And you stumbled upon a few suspicious things that were going on. For one, it seems Zara is very distressed, and she said to meet her later, that she would find you in your room, that she was worried about what's happening, but she can't speak freely. You also discovered there are clockwork bees mixed into this hive. They have a strange empty capsule in some of them. And there was some seduction that went on with Felix. But we ascertained that the story's a little suspicious. He seems, on the one hand, to be talking about building a new profit center here, but on the other hand, he seems to be wanting to just turn a profit really quickly and leave. And we learned that the bees are sick, and Felix admitted that Edwin is responsible for having constructed these mechanical ones, and he says that this is because he was trying to improve the production of the honey. And then ultimately, you guys decided to venture downstairs to the source of this transmission that seems to be disrupting the bees. And you discovered this cave with these 3 stone statues that are remarkably real. And so Patty's character has called the others down. And where we're starting, Edwin is telling everyone that the bar is closing and he's leaving. And so are the other captains. So he's kind of ushering everyone out. But the majority of you are actually down in the pit. So what we have on one hand, we have in the tavern Alonzo and we have Liren the Thirsty. And then downstairs we have the rest of you. So with that, I'm going to just get rid of all these captains really quickly. They're all retiring to their beds. And there is an upstairs. That's what they're going. And the Clockwork Edwin is staring intently at the two of you as he's expecting you to leave his bar or to go upstairs to retire. What do you do?
And the Nim are still, they're down doing their own
You've gone into the pit. You know they've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said something about bees, and then they went downstairs.
Beads, you say? Like necklace beads?
Where is Alonzo at?
Alonzo is...
Oh, yeah,
where is Alonzo's? Did you place your old token?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I gotta replace it. Sorry, I do not even have... I did not come to class prepared. I don't have the map up. Where is Albert?
Am I place your token?
He went invisible.
He's roughly around the bar, though, yeah.
I am quite deft at hiding.
Oh wait, this is yours. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hid the wrong one.
Okay. Yeah,
There
I thought...
you
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was behind the bar because I was making cocktails.
Yeah. Edwin's
That's
like,
what I thought.
you're not allowed behind this bar. I think it's time for you all to retire.
The fuck I have...
The bar is closed.
I've seen the drinks you make. They're abhorrent.
Are you applying for a job?
Yes, this is my manager. His name is Liren the Gangly.
I am acquainted with this group of yours, but I'm afraid that the proprietary is closed.
Alonzo,
Yep. Yes, sir.
let's just leave.
It is getting quite late in the night, and he just grabs a bottle and walks out from behind the bar.
Which door?
So there is the entrance where your friends went, and then all the captains went upstairs.
Shall we gather our Nim?
So there is only the there's only the one
there's-
exit from the building.
So there's the front door where your nymph removed a plate and went into a pit. There's the kitchen, which we didn't really explore much, but we know there's stuff back there. And then there's the upstairs.
Okay.
Ben went into the kitchen as a bee, right?
Yes.
I did.
I will wait
She'll
just
the
long
door.
enough that it seems like I'm not leaving with him, and then I'll also leave through the front door.
Okay. All right.
So
So
We going upstairs, or are we going to get the Nim?
I'm going after the Nim.
Okay, cool. I agree. I would think we want to get our group back together before we go start sleeping. Yeah.
So
I
you're
would.
outside peering in this hole.
Yeah.
They've removed the grate, and you can probably hear them if you listen talking down there. So now you can all communicate with you. The rest of you have just landed with Patty's character, Fen.
You guys,
So
look at this.
Ben, you said there was like some sort of like cool statues and stuff we could take a look at, and were there any
Come over here, I'll show you.
And wait, you said you had some scrolls or something that you couldn't read, right? I could probably read them. I'm
there's
very
some-
smart.
There's a bunch of books.
Oh,
Did you see anything shiny?
I see lots of
Not
cool.
yet.
So this is what you guys are hearing. They're muttering to each other in the darkness down there.
But look at these statues. They don't look like statues, except that they're stone.
Who's holding a torch down there? One of you has a torch.
It's probably me.
You. So you're holding it, and you're probably trying to examine more closely with a torchlight, right? When you're leaning over to them, on them, the light is hitting them from the torch. You're noticing that the stone, like the flecks of the stone, it's hard. Some of them are flaking off, like bits of stone are flaking off as you're holding this light in front of the statue.
Do you think they used to be painted at some time? Because I heard that certain statues they would paint them so they would look lifelike. And I go and I rub some of the flecks off.
Yeah, like you can see, it's like they're coming off in sheaths almost. The stone, it's like crumbling off a little bit.
Well, I'm
Wow,
gonna
it's like it's like
I'm
dry
gonna-
skin.
join her and start wiping some of that off. I'm like, it just looks too real.
I'm
So
gonna
you're
stay
noticing-
right on the edge of the lamp, the light, not the lamp light, but the torch light,
Outside
and
the
just keep
torch
an eye on everything.
Okay.
I'm still looking for shinies, but also I don't want to be in the light.
So you're looking for shinies. Give me a D6.
Oh, sure. Oops, that's not what I wanted to open. I rolled a 1.
1. So you do find, so this is a consumable. Basically, when you investigate a room and you're looking for stuff, you can turn up supplies. So you found a consumable supply. As you're looking around, like, as I said before, the beekeeping supplies have been toppled over. The tables are broken. There's broken barrels. It's like there was some chaos in here. But there's some intact beekeeping supplies. So you can add to your inventory 1 consumable supply typed beekeeping. So what that means is when you declare it, it has to be related in some way to beekeeping.
Oh, okay. So let's see
You
if I
also
can-
notice here, up where this door is, and you're kind of, it's hard to see it in the dark, but it has a glimmer to it as the torchlight's flickering. The door seems to be made of some kind of golden material, but it's hard to see in the dark.
This door here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Guys, there's something sparkling over there. It might be important.
sparkles, but I'm like, books, and I run over to the book section.
And I'm still rubbing at these I have the light, and I'm still rubbing at these statues.
All right, so let's resolve these. We'll go around the table and we'll grab the guys upstairs as well. So, yes.
I was gonna say,
So let's go to them real quick. Yeah.
regarding the guys upstairs. What the fuck are they getting into? Shall we, old chap? Shall we
Nothing
go
they're
down?
saying down there makes sense. The reason they went down there doesn't make sense. They found some bees that were hungry, and now they're making a thing out of it. They're.
When in Rome, right? Wherever
I
Rome
guess.
may be.
I guess
Why don't we join them? How far down is
because
it?
we're adult men who don't have to do what other people do.
It's more of a supervisional aspect. I really think these NIM, we leave them to their own devices, they're just going to start blowing up things in any moment now.
God, I hate that you're
So
right.
I did say it was 60 feet down. Now they descended because they're NIM and they're quite nimble.
Encounter space?
About an encounter space, yes.
I would like to cast Solipsism to create a spiral staircase down the stairs for the two of us.
Now, can you read to us?
Actually, you know what?
Whoa. What?
Okay, I was like, can you like one of those like hover round chairs that like we could like ride down? Like it's a
Can you read
do that?
solipsism? Can you read that to
will.
me?
I will read
What is this
Solipsism to you. So this is a spell. It's an illusion spell.
Yeah.
And the spell says, do you want it in regular voice or in his voice? No, I'll do regular.
Whichever.
You manifest the existence of a phantasm with tangibility in the area of effect, but by default, only you and the targets of the spell believe in its existence. All others must make an opposed spell check to believe. For example, you can create a phantasm of a bridge that only you and your party perceive to be real. All others may not cross it unless they succeed in the opposed spell check against you and have reason to believe it exists.
That's fantastic. So you're gonna spend 3 for an encounter space, and
Yeah.
you're gonna create a hover chair that only
Yeah,
you
it's like a slow moving like lounge that goes down, like it's just
And
spirals down.
when you arrive
There's
at the
like-
bottom, you find me already there because of my dimension door. And I'm just going to look at you and say, I do not trust you.
So to cast dimension door, you'd spend 3. So that's
Yeah, okay.
You don't
I will
care.
happily spend 3 to indicate to my ex-brother-in-law that I do not trust him.
Well, shit, I was gonna drop him anyway, but
You two have arrived. We unite at the party. Now, in order of all the things you guys are looking at here, so let me go back to Takis. You were looking at the Takis, right? Is that the right say?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, Takis, you're looking at these books. So it's clear to you they're annals of some kind. They're written in an ancient script, and I'm sure if you confer with Fen, she thinks it's Nim related.
I
What
could read-
languages do you speak?
I could read ancient Nim, and I'm phonic.
Well, if you read ancient Nemean, it happens to be written in that. In
Oh,
fact.
oh, guys, I can read this now. If only the light was a little brighter.
Just bring it over to the torchlight. So, as you're flipping through these, it's very clear that these are harvesting annals. Like they record the history of the upkeep of this particular hive, and they're written but by someone whose name is Balin, and he seems to be some kind of beekeeper or servant of this hive. And it goes back like 500 years. The annals, as you're just counting the texts, and they're all written by this person. And Nim do live a long time, so it's possible this person is a Nim too. It's written in ancient Indian. What's interesting is there's a bit of it talks about the ecology of the bees, how these hives exist in certain places throughout the desert, and they're remnants of a time before the desert was ruined, and before it used to be something else, and that they subsist on these desert lotuses that are spread throughout, like they have a symbiotic relationship with them. And beyond that, it seems that there are a group of types of Nim that are servants to these sites called the Amber Dwarves. That each of these sites has such caretakers.
Amber dwarves?
Would I know anything?
Amber Dwarves.
Would I know anything about the Amber Dwarves?
Oh, well, let's do a lore check and see if you do. So you would roll a d6, and you would add your deft. And if you have the skill lore, you can add a +2. You want to roll as high as you can.
I don't know. I don't have lore, unfortunately. I rolled a 2.
And I think you're a Nim, so you have advantage, right?
Yes.
So you roll 2d6 and take the best result.
I rolled also a 2.
Okay. So 2 plus your deft
is a 6.
6. Okay, so that's a poor result. You don't, beyond what's in these texts, you can surmise that the Amber Dwarves are some sort of Nim, possibly who lived a long time ago. But beyond that, you don't know much more. And these texts don't talk about them so much as they talk about the harvesting and the caretaking of bees.
So I'm like, oh, I applaud this person's methodical method of recording his beekeeping, but it's not about clockwork.
So the other inspections we're doing here, we had the door, right? And then the flakes of the stones. The door. If you bring over the torch, you can take a look at this door more closely.
Bring the torch, or maybe I can have one.
Okay. But when I get done, I wanna keep flecking away some of this stuff on these statues. I'll come over there.
There might be something important here. Sometimes
you're right. I'll come over there.
We're there for reasons.
I'll
It's
come
on a
over.
door.
You're casting some light on this door.
Can I just turn into an animal that can see in the dark? Like a bat?
Sure. You'll have to spend your MP to do this, though.
Well, let's see what I got left.
So you want to be careful how much you spend.
Right, let me see what I have
Your
to
MP
begin with.
return once you've rested.
Okay, I still have. You said I just spend 1 for that.
It's 1, yeah, for each
Yeah,
transformation.
I'll do that.
Okay. So then you're seeing in the dark, you're seeing kind of the echolocation that the bat gives you to give you more of a map of this place.
Right.
When you look upon the door from where you are, it's a big, heavy golden door. And it has a drawing on it of what looks like a really huge Nim with a big beard. It seems to be kind of like a divine engraving. And he's crying into the desert. And when he cries, you see there's what looks like swarms of insects at his feet. And then there's a big, obviously lever to open it. And then as for the flakes, you're noticing, as you're brushing them off, eventually it smooths out and it's stone again. But you're noticing too, as you're holding this light, that the area where the light is shining, it's turning the stone kind of a golden hue, and it's getting brittle. But eventually, and as you move it, so you move it over here, and then you can flake off a little bit of this, you can flake off a little bit of this, but eventually it's not enough for it to continue to flake.
Oh, I see. So eventually it just clears off, almost like
like a layer is removed. Yeah. But it seems to be reacting to the light.
So do you think that the light is making it flake?
It seems like when you're holding it and you move it, then it's flaking over here and it's flaking here.
I'm gonna have you, since I'm a bat.
I hope somebody else.
Right.
Well, yeah, I've got the torch she had.
So I'm, as best I can, clapping in Lyran's face to move her over there to the statues.
What are you doing?
Between the two of you, it seems like you're getting little bits and pieces and flakes, but it seems like almost if the light source is causing it to flake, the light source doesn't seem strong enough.
Oh, gotcha. I don't have anything with light, do I?
All right, floor is back open again to everyone.
Do you think this Nim on the door is crying because maybe the desert is overtaking what used to be? Like what you were reading, Takis?
Yeah, it could be. Since it's so long ago, maybe his bees just got really sick. Like the bees upstairs. Maybe they get periodic sickness or something.
Maybe he's watering
With salty tears?
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe his wife just died. I
Oh,
wonder if this guy is Balin in the books. But what? But that'd be kind of like egotistic, don't you think, to have a picture of himself up on the door?
well, yes, of course.
But maybe he is. If he spent 500 years writing all these books, maybe he's a little woohoo.
As they're saying this, I lean to Liren, the thirsty. It's funny, I think that guy got the doors that I had made in my house, except it's his visage instead of mine. Brilliant.
Yes,
Man of taste and excellence, obviously.
they do all come from the same artist. He just made one, and he keeps putting new faces on it.
No, I'm saying I have the same damn doors in my domicile.
Yeah.
Just it's my face instead of his ugly mug.
Yes, and I'm saying you're overpaying for a scam.
Can you rent me out one of these Nims, perhaps?
Rent?
Is that? Are they on your ticket? Are they on your docket?
No,
Can I hear them? Can I hear them chatting?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
we're right
No,
here.
it's echoing in here.
Excuse me, I am not for rent.
Yes, these are not my Nim. They are just some Nim.
Oh,
Assassin for them or steal things for them.
And I'm going to take my wings and
but
put them in your face.
As you guys are all talking, suddenly you hear a loud beeping, and you hear a loud beeping coming from here, from that device that was glowing that's sitting on the ground. It is a little mechanism that comes out and it starts to rotate and it's beeping. It's flashing. As it's beeping loudly, some of the bees on the hive lift off and they start to go up through the hole.
Ooh! And I run over there as quick as my little legs can take me.
When
And I
you
wanna
say through
stab
the
this
hole, do you mean out of the hive or out of the cellar?
Out of the hive, up, all the way up where you guys came in down from. So
Okay.
a little group of them buzz up.
Takis, does that beeping mean danger?
I don't know. How can I know without examining the thing?
Ah, so you just run right up on it.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Why
gonna
not?
stay over here.
Sure. So-
Alonzo, surely you have some sort of spell that can confuse the bomb before it explodes.
Bomb, you say? It's just a goddamn hive of bees.
Yes,
You're
and then
telling me I'm the one overthinking.
a thing started beeping, and all of the creatures that live in here left. What do you think that means?
I'm going to transform back
Huh?
because I'm tired of not being able to communicate. My wings aren't doing the job.
Can I
Maybe
roll
those
an investigate on it or an
You want to
examine?
examine this device and see what it's
Yeah.
up to?
Mhm.
All right, so let's do a success check. That sounds like a smart check. And if you have something that can help with clockwork, you can add a skill that's related.
I have domain knowledge. I have machine affinity and I'm a specialist when tinkering
Oh,
with
okay.
mechanisms. And my kit is a mechanist, so I don't know.
Okay, so you would roll at advantage with smart because you have affinity with machines. So the roll 2d6 and take the best.
Okay,
And then I
so-
think you have domain knowledge engineering, so that would be a +2 from that.
Okay, so 6, 8 plus smart is a 10.
10. All right, a success at a cost, but just barely. From what it looks like, it seems as though it's been remotely activated. As you examine it, it doesn't seem like there's a fuselage or any sort of like explosive materials inside of it, but there's a very large transmitter that matches the design.
Not a bomb!
Like it does have a large transmitter like the ones in the bees. And as you're looking at the ones that lift it off, I don't know if you have like little binoculars or something in your glasses. If you zoom in
My
on them,
magnifying glass.
you can tell that those are mechanical ones that lift it off. But you're not sure what sort of instructions were given to it. That's the disadvantage.
But this thing must be controlling the bees. But why at night?
Yeah, bees usually aren't active at night.
Yeah,
Well,
it seems the
robot
rest of the bees are
bees-
sleeping on the hive.
The
These are
robot bees
mechanical
may be
bees,
used
yes?
for certain evil deeds, which are best accomplished at night, such as stealing or murder.
Or
Indeed.
poison.
Well, do you guys think that I should transform into a bee and follow them?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Do you want
I
me
have
to
to-
blow this fucker up? Is
Absolutely.
what I'm really getting at.
Wait,
You
let me-
planted the
No.
idea in my head. I just can't stop thinking about it now. I have
How
to know
long did
exactly
my
what it is.
dimension door last? Can I go back?
Maybe those bees are going to go get nectar for the other bees. We don't know yet.
Let me transform, and I will go follow them and see if they are just trying to overwork, double time, 24 hours a day slave bees, or if they're doing something nefarious. What do you
And-
think?
Out of character, this was the mechanical bees that left, correct? Not
From when she zoomed in, it looks like it was just mechanical ones that flew up.
mechanical. But there are actual living bees on this hive as
The
well.
hive has a
Alright,
whole blanket
so-
of them, but they're like
So Fen
lethargic.
does not want me lighting this thing on fire, basically. I would
That's
guess.
probably bad. Yeah.
What I
okay.
think we need to do is if I turn into a bee, we have to have a way of communicating so that I can tell you, come with me, or something. We've got to have some kind of a code as bee and you guys.
Perhaps a game
Well,
of charade.
maybe if you come back and you buzz in Lyron's face, that's come with me. And if you come back and you turn into yourself, then everything's fine.
No,
Who's
you
holding
wasn't
the torch?
Irish face. He might like.
No. I will flutter in front of Taki's face. Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, but I might not notice you, and I might just kind of swipe you away.
Okay, fine. Fine. Lightfoot, do you mind if I buzz in your ear if I come back and need you to follow me?
All
I
right.
don't care if you care or not. I'm done.
I can stand still for a long time with lots
not
of
even
things
waiting
going
for an
on.
answer. I've
So you're turning
transformed.
back into bees. You spend the MP again. Now, who's holding the torch again?
Uh,
I am.
Lightfoot had it.
So you're holding that torch, as you're gesticulating, talking, you're hearing cracking in the statues. You're cracking. If you look back on them, you can see there's lines cracking.
Can I
forming on
just
them.
detect as a psychic extra sentience in the room
Yes, there is sentience in this room.
coming from these three statues?
What does your psychic sentience ability say?
As long as you have MP, you can detect the presence of sentience within a melee space by concentrating for 1 round.
There is sentience within a melee space of you.
And that's not us.
That's not bees. Yeah, and that's
And
not bees
yeah.
either.
Dear God, I think these statues are coming alive.
Since Alonzo is my brother-in-law, is it reasonable that we might have some sort of quick hand signal for shoot something right there?
I'm sure.
What do you think, Alonzo?
I would 100% agree. I mean, I would even say go as far as you see a tick in me, when I notice something's up.
Okay.
My eyebrow raises away before I even get to speak. So it's I feel like we're pretty much on each other's asses this whole time now.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
do you want to indicate that I should attack something?
I mean, it hasn't come to fruition yet, but I think readying or preparing some way.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think we should attack them preemptively.
It's
Yeah.
right
He
now.
might have been the precursor carers of the bees.
Right now, all I know is that you've noticed something that you haven't.
I'm
said.
spooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something's up. Yeah.
Okay.
And to reiterate, there's also chains around all the statues.
Okay.
Oh, these.
I'm going to
sons of
put
bitches.
the torch on the ground and get myself hidden.
Got it. So you're gonna hide yourself in stealth. Got it.
Yep.
And then we know Fen is buzzing up out of the hole. Mhm.
Yeah.
What else is everyone else doing?
Like,
We
wow.
don't have tokens on the board here.
You can probably grab them if you go to the bottom to the asset manager and you click on the sword. It should have your icons. You should be able to drag them out. I think.
I don't-
I think you have to personally load them
Oh,
up.
okay. Let me just drop.
Well, no, I
them.
mean, us individually have to have that access to them and then load them up.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't
Does
have
it?
any
Does it?
asset
Did that
yet.
generate them for you?
Yeah, I see two. I don't
Yeah.
see Liren or Alonzo. We're up.
I-
Yeah,
There's
there we
me.
go.
And this one. There we go.
There we go.
Awesome.
Ta-da!
Oh, I'm
My
I'm
fourth
quite
Diet Pepsi today.
Wow.
Watch out for that.
So what are you doing? Like, so we got Liren, the Lightfoot. I'm gonna call you Lightfoot. Lightfoot's in the shadows. We got Ben zooming up after the bees. Alonzo, what are you doing?
Lightfoot dropped the torch, right? So I think I would pick up the torch again to
Got
investigate.
Oh, so you're creeping towards the statues.
Yeah, I mean, now that I know that they're sentient.
And then Takis, what are you doing?
darn, I knew I should have drawn some mustaches on their faces. But as fascinating as they are, I want to continue looking at the transmitter and see if I could trace back where the signal's coming from.
Got it. All right. So I'm gonna say, since you've been messing with it, and you're kind of like you're blocking all these people out. So it seems like you detected a signal when you're upstairs, and it seems like this device is turned on. It's like almost like an amplifier. So whatever instructions are being transmitted to it are bounced off of it into this chamber. So to reverse engineer it, maybe you're gonna like try and like mess with the circuitry to like figure out where the signal is coming from. So let's see if you can do that. So because you're already messing with it, I'm gonna say it's a flat number. It's gonna be tricky. So I need a 9. So that's a smart check, and then you can add your domain knowledge engineering to it.
Okay, and I have
You have advantage.
Specialist,
Yeah.
right? Okay, 5 plus 2 is 7, plus my smart is an 11.
Oh, wonderful! Nice. So you mess with circuitry, it starts blinking, and perhaps I don't know. Do you have like maybe a device that you can like turn a dial to kind of see where it blips and a little radar thingy?
I would love to have a little scanner.
Well, maybe you pull it out of your robot, your clockwork companion. You pull it off his back, and you're messing with it. It seems to be coming from the second floor of the inn, and it's moving. It's moving around.
Fascinating.
Like as if it's on someone's person.
I believe the person controlling the bees is on the second floor currently. I would like to meet this person. Wouldn't it be great if I could transmit stuff to Fickfock?
Okay, so that's what you're figuring out. What is Liren the Thirsty doing?
I was wondering, do I have control of my thing, or can I?
Which thing?
My token.
Oh yeah, you should be able to drag it around.
You're in the. You have to be in the owlbear. You can't drag it from
the owlbear,
this window.
yeah.
You would have to be on the owlbear.
The link in the Discord. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I. Okay, well, can
So
someone just put me over by those barrels and crates?
Yes, I can.
Has it been?
That's where I would like to be.
Yeah.
Has it been 3 rounds since I came down here?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 3 minutes, right?
It's only 3 minutes. Yeah.
So I
Probably been chatting for about 10 minutes or so.
I was wishing I could go back out through my dimension door.
Oh. But yeah, the dimension doors are like open, and then they're kind of instantaneous.
Well, I was just reading duration is a round per magic point plus level. I guess that would be 4 rounds. But,
yeah, and it all depends on the spell. Like some of them are instantaneous. There's like a spell logic page which goes through it, but that one's meant to like poof poof, and then you go through it.
Cool. So I am just gonna stay. I moved my token where it is intentionally so that I'm on the other side of these statues from where everyone else is.
Okay, so you're behind them, kind of like you're noticing there is what looks like behind you a bed that's made of straw. It's 3 different beds.
Oh.
And there's some boots and some like accoutrement. It's been tossed over though.
When you say 3 different beds, do you mean there are 3 mattresses on top of each other, or it's 3
side by side, like kind of very simple, bare. They're made of like straw. There's some stones around the edges of them.
Oh, it's probably for Nim.
It's kind of short. It's not like human length. So I'm gonna switch to the bee. You're chasing the bees up this portal. So you got to kind of get a handle on them because they left ahead of you and they're moving quite quickly. So let's see if you can catch their trail.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need it's probably a death-based check because you're trying to search after them. If you have something like survival or perception, that would help. So I'm gonna say it's tricky because you're trying to get them in darkness and they're
survival.
moving fast. Survival. Okay, so I'll need a 9. So it's a D6 plus your deft, and you have advantage because you're an M, and then you add a +2 for your survival.
And remember, you can add story tags if you want to, but you can only do one per session. Or one of each per session.
So we want to hit a 9.
So the survival gives me what?
+2.
So I got an 11.
11, great. So what's happening is going to take you some time. I'm going to explain what's happening to you, and then we'll go back to them. But they seem to go through soffits in the building, so like into the roof of it essentially, and then they're going through some sort of ventilation very intently, and then at one point they split apart. So like one of them's going this way, one of them's going that way, one group's going that way. They kind of split to different directions. I assume you'll arbitrarily choose one group to follow.
The closest, I guess I would follow that one.
So you're following them. They don't seem to notice or care that you're following them. Then they suddenly stop and start hovering, and there's vents below them in the ventilation. And then they start blinking, and then they all go down through the vents. Do you want to follow them through the vents?
I'm going to not necessarily follow through, but I'm going to go through the vent, but kind of hover. And see where they head. Yeah, and kind of watch.
They seem to be in a room, like it looks like an in room. Maybe this is maybe this is a floor. Yeah, like a bedroom basically. There's a couple beds. And let me just see which one this is. Okay. And you see there is a nym that's sleeping on one bed, and this is the nym you saw with the captain. Who was very fancily dressed, the captain who had like the tricorn hat and the blue naval vest, and he's sleeping and snoring really loudly. And then the woman is sitting at a desk and she's writing, and she's taken off her hat. She's wearing kind of like a nightgown. And the bees start to they seem to be moving silently now, like they're buzzing around, but you don't hear them, and they're moving. And then you see one of them comes by and like lands on her shoulder. And then another one lands next to the man who's sleeping, the nym, and it's crawling, and it crawls towards the man who's sleeping, and then you see it blink, and it stabs its abdomen stinger into him. And then the other one stabs her in the neck. And then she like smacks it, and she's like, "Oh, these accursed bees." And then she turns to the nym, and she's like, "Pegneck, I need you to clean this room before I go to bed." But he doesn't seem to respond to her. She's like, Pegneck! Oh, you're the worst help. And then she smooths her dress, she puts her pen down, and then she starts to get a little woozy for a minute, and she's like, "Oh, I should not have had that gin. I don't feel very well." And then she slumps right onto the table. The desk that she's sitting on.
So
and then the bees go back up to the bed. Yeah.
And I'm going to go up and maybe head the direction of the other bees. In every vent, I'm going to look and see.
So you're going to spend your time to kind of trace your way.
And see if this is happening in all of the rooms.
Got it. All right. So while you're doing that, we're going to switch over and see what these guys are up to. So you're working on that. So what are we doing now? So we're noticing. Now you're approaching, you said, Alonzo, with the torch. As you get closer, the cracking is happening more.
Okay. Is it visible, the cracking? Like, can I see?
Yeah, you can see there's like spidering cracking in the stone.
And it just looks like stone otherwise, though. It's not like it's like peeling off and revealing.
There's no huge chunks, that are coming off. And then if you're within like 10 feet and you stop, the light's hitting them, it cracks a little bit more, but then it gets stable again. And again, among all of you can surmise, like, it seems that the presence of the light is causing the cracking, but it's not intense enough.
You see this, old man? It seems like the light is making them crack-a-lack just a little bit more.
I'm the same age you are.
You are not. You're a freaking high person. You're like, what, 80 times my age?
I will be one day.
Well, you should try to act your age a bit more, because just seriously, this constant.
You should act your shut up.
Douche.
Now, what is it you're trying to
Have
show
a
me?
brighter light?
What are we doing?
God, do I have? No, I don't have anything to make brighter light. I feel like I don't want to waste too much of that. So as I put the torch closer to it, does it seem to react more? Like as I get,
it starts cracking more, but it can flake, and you can pull some flakes off. But again, it doesn't seem strong enough. Like it's reacting to the light, basically.
yeah, like I'm all up in its face with the light.
Put it right in its face. You can see pieces on the cheek coming off, but there's stone under it, and it's cracking a little bit.
The chains on it are not stone, or they are stone.
No, they're not They're not stone.
So it looks like. So would it be? Would I be surmising or thinking that they were both frozen, petrified in some way, and then also chained? Okay. And going back to his bed thing, does it seem like that they'd be the bed of 3 nin?
I mean, there's 3 beds, and they're not human-sized beds. They're short.
Okay. All right.
They look like kids' beds. They're very wide though, because these Nim are quite stout, and like they're kind of like weightlifter build.
And so, and Takis is over there with the books and the bees, and
Taking
Lyran
apart the device.
Lyran Lightfoot is just in the shadows, like hiding.
I'm waiting.
Waiting
Okay.
to cause carnage.
Well, who else to? No one else.
I'm gonna
to
ask
grab her with
Takis.
but you.
Takis, does your gentleman friend, your automaton, does he have any light source?
Well, just his eyes. I mean, they're a bit lit up.
Turn
Well,
them on.
I mean, maybe.
Is there any
Maybe
way
you
to
could
crank
that
him
up a bit. I have machinery too. I
Oh,
could.
great idea! Fuck, I need a little bit more light on this transmitter. Look, stare my way a little bit more.
Do you want to spend a consumable and have him like spend a charge and like light up his eyes? Or you put a slot in him to crank up his lodestone and charge him up.
Until you said that, Daniel, I was just going to ask, can I do like petty things like make a light without spending magic points? Or is that...
with your chaos maleficence, perhaps you can do a cantrip that's like crazy sparkles because it's chaos.
Yeah, I'll do that. And it's just, it's the wrong color. It's coming out in like a bunch of colors, actually. It's sparking. It's moving. I'm like, how is that? Does that just suffice?
Like Jubilee sparks?
Or are
like,
your puny Nim
man.
eyes insufficient?
So as you're sparking, what you see is suddenly one of the statues, huge chunks of it are breaking off. And underneath the statue, you can see there's flesh and like armor. And the arm starts to break. But it's chained up, and then pieces of its face are coming off, and you're seeing what looks like a kind of an older, very buff-looking Nim. Let me just pull up.
I guess I actually went over here to do that for her.
Open this scene here.
You back away. I'm right up in its face.
No, like I actually was making the light for Takis, so I would be over there.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thirsty.
No, I don't have it in the image.
You're quite welcome.
You're quite handy. And I mean that literally.
Handsome as well.
I don't have that one as a separate image, but if you zoom in on those icons, you can see what they look like. And there's a great yawn as the stone is breaking off of this particular one. A very hearty yawn. He goes, "Ugh." And then he opens his eyes, and he's shaking against his stones, and he says very loudly, "Skull! Tannen! Intruders in here! Get me out of these chains!"
We're not intruders, we're paying guests.
He said, "Where'd that blasted clockwork go? That is, to your arms, get your axes! Oh, you're sleeping.
What the hell are you on about?"
And he just seems very startled. The others are still somewhat solidified, like the sparking hit him. And he says, "Damn that clockwork! Oh, who are you people?"
I'm Lyran the Thirsty. Surely you've heard of me.
I've never heard of you. Who are these lasses?
Oh, I'm Takis, and you have a great setup here. By the way, is this transmitter yours? And when you said clockwork, what exactly did you mean by clockwork? The only clockwork I know is the bartender upstairs' name was, what was his name? Edwin? Very handsome fellow.
That is the work of that devil machine. Get away from it.
What? Double machine? But he's so shiny.
They chained us up here. My brothers, do any of you have a bright light? Please, wake them up.
Wait a minute. I have a question. The ceiling appears to be a metal grate.
Indeed.
Do you not wake up every day when the sun rises?
We do, but you see it has been blocked as of late, and we have been chained. In our slumber without the light, we turn to stone as we are amber dwarves.
I will happily release you from your imprisonment as soon as you answer me one question. Actually, kind of two. A part A and a part B, if you will. Part A.
Who is this elf man with his questions? I demand to be unhanded.
You're Balin? I commend you for your methodical beekeeping records. They are
I am Balin the Amber Dwarf.
Wow.
Somewhere in the dark. Yeah. He's here to rescue you.
Yes, I'm here to rescue you, but I must know first, who imprisoned you and why?
That blasted clockwork came in here to disturb our work. He tied us up. Skull, we must check on the queen. Oh, he's still asleep. Damn it.
Okay, so that's who. Now why? Why did he?
I have no idea. That inn must be under attack. The hive must be protected. Get me out of these chains.
This is your inn?
No, it is Jafar's inn. We are servants of the hive. The Amber Dwarves for 1,000 years have protected it.
How long ago were you imprisoned?
Oh, but days. Without lights, we fall asleep.
I'm sorry, you were servants of the beehive?
Oh, yes, it's all in this book over here, Lyron.
No, I don't
know
read
you
books.
Not the tale of Alderaan, the god of the dwarves?
No.
Get me out of these chains and I shall explain.
So from what I'm gathering is that this man Jafar has his own nim that serve him. It sounds very familiar to me with this concept of nim, you know.
What are you implying? Jafar has been our patron for many years.
Sorry, we encountered the name Jafar last session. I don't remember who it was, though.
Oh, he's the original owner of the Fat Bottom Inn who has retired, according to feelings.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Bottom, right?
Yeah.
Jafar Fat.
And he was like an intelligence agent or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Am I to be imprisoned by a high person and fellow Nim? Do you stand for this?
We haven't imprisoned you. We simply haven't chosen to release you yet.
We found you this way. Oh, I'm not here.
I think that we have been lied to.
You have. We are being attacked. We must act at once.
Take a moment and view it from our perspective. You were statues. We came in. You have woken up because of light, and you are telling us that you are the good guys and someone else is the bad guy. How do we know?
Behold the annals of the Amber Dwarves all around you.
Which you wrote.
500 years of my service that I have written in my own hand, for my brothers are illiterate.
Okay, so you wrote the books that you're referring us to.
Indeed.
Okay, so you see how that doesn't really constitute evidence.
What is this evidence you speak of? As we speak and dawdle on such things, the queen is perishing, and who knows what that blasted machine is up to?
How much money does this queen have?
She is the hive queen in the hive. He looks over to the giant hive.
So no money.
He's not ill.
You know what? I'm bored. Alonzo, let them go.
I'm tired of listening to this Fustelarian buffoon, and he's gonna cast Memory Sieve on him to just extract what the fuck the queen is, and just kind of let's move along. Fen should be back any moment
you
now.
to make a spell check against him.
I would love to.
He has resistance to
Outstanding.
spells in general, so he's going to roll with advantage.
So
What kind of spell is this?
It's a mind. Sorry, it's a mighty psionic.
Mighty?
Yeah.
Oh, so psionic. All right, so let's see. So roll normally then. So that is a 5, 8. So it's psionic. So that's only an 8.
Well, you shouldn't have told me that before I decided what I was going to use and not use. But I'm not going to use anything now because I pass unless I don't critically fail. So I rolled a 5. I actually explode on 5 because of my alienist kit and the fact that it's a mind spell.
What sorcery are you subjecting me to?
So 7 plus 6, it's 13 plus 2, 15.
Jesus. So what memory are you trying to extract?
I think we would want to. If I could step out of character and ask the group, do we want to know what the fuck is with the queen, or do we want to know what happened to them?
What happened to them? Real.
You want to know how they got chained up? I mean, I could do this again if we want.
Because I would be very disappointed if it was really Edwin, the clockwork bartender, who did the evil.
I just want to know if they really are the good guys or not.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys.
These guys.
Well, they
guys
seem-
that are trained. Are they the good guys, or are they telling us lies so that we will release them?
Steve, you want to weigh in on this at all before?
I think at this point, Lyran is either going to let them go or go to bed.
There's 3 beds right here, and it's probably for free.
Yeah, I have no interest at this point, so it's either going to make it interesting or sleep.
So I think knowing what the queen is, what I want to know what they serve, like what their
memory of the queen
is. Yeah, because then otherwise, if it seems like it's fits into the narrative that we're comfortable with, then we can release them and get the rest of the story out. Otherwise, like if the queen is like the queen that's going to end the world, then we know we got to chop their heads off.
So recent memory of the queen. So you fished into his brain, and you literally put your hand through into his skull to extract this memory as an object, and then you play it back to yourself. It zooms through the clouds of his mind, and as you're zooming through to search for this memory, there is a lot of information. Like,
oh, wow,
really old. Like, it's more than 500 years of information. But eventually you get to the recent memory, and you see through his eyes, he's looking at this very golden hive that you're before right now, and he's kneeling. And beside him are 2 other Nim that looks very similar to him, wearing similar armor. And he has his hands clasped, and he puts his head to the ground, and you can hear the buzzing. And then he looks up, and they're chanting something. It seems to be an ancient Nemean. And you can see in the hole, like the crevice of this hive, there's kind of like piles of bee food that's
Royal
amassed.
jelly.
Yeah, and you can see there's a like some activity on the top of it. There's probably like a bee sitting on there, that's separated from the rest of the hive that's all around it. And then after they do their chanting, they stand up, and he nods, and then he kind of walks over to one of the animals, pulls it out, and starts writing in it. That's what you get for the memory.
I picture like I am I extract this thing through him very extravagantly, and I put it in my it's a little like those viewfinder, like the
spectrum thing.
I'm clicking through and I'm narrating every moment of it. The bee is just feeding ferociously, and it's so hungry. Yeah, checks out. I think we can let him go.
Okay.
Unhand me.
I have a question about the spell Dispel Magic.
Yes.
As I read it, it seems to not so much dispel magical effects as suppress them for a certain number of rounds. Is that...
If it's a magic item, it will do that. But otherwise, it'll cancel an enchantment that's in place.
I know we can let these guys go with just light, but I'm wondering if I cast Dispel Magic, if they can be permanently let go.
Oh, so I mean, as you're thinking about it, being that you're really, you're an accomplished wizard who has training, and you're looking at this probably with the magical auras around these things. It seems that this stone effect is a natural thing for them.
Oh,
like it seems that like he was saying as you're piecing it together, you've probably heard in your trainings in the wizard school that there are some creatures that when they hibernate turn to stone, and that seems to be what's happening here.
So really all they need us to do is unchain them.
And it seems light wakes them up.
Let's just unchain them. I mean, it's really not any of our business, and they can settle it with whoever put them here.
Yeah, they seem on the up and up, or at least in the good nature of the space, and it does seem like it's more of a physiological thing that if there's light, that it unstones them, and then we can unchain them.
I
Right,
agree, Urban Tinkering.
We're paying customers of the inn. We have beds regardless, so let's just let them go.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna come out of the shadows.
I mean, but they'll just turn back into stone if they leave this area. There's no lights on anymore. Did they turn off the lights, or did they turn off the lights?
We can hand them a torch.
He says, hey, if I were to guess, they had probably covered the vent, so we were in total darkness. That fiendish machine. I know not who he works for or his intentions, but he is evil. Destroy that device. It weakens the hive.
Hold on. I want to see if I could hijack the signal. And can I roll to see if I can hijack the signal?
So you can try. It's going to be extremely hard because you don't actually have the device that controls it. You're going to have to write like some kind of circuitry or software into it that will then transmit to it. So I'm going to require quite a high number here. I'm going to say it's a moonshot to do this. Because you're trying to bounce the signal off to that and then control it. So it's a 17. Because it's D6 plus you're smart. You have advantage because you're a mechanist.
Is there a chance I could do an assist?
What's that?
Can I do an assist because I have machinery as well?
Oh, you certainly can. So that would then give her doubled advantage. So she'd roll 3d6 and take the best result.
Well, I rolled a 5 and a 2. Here's a 6. I rolled a 6.
All right, that explodes.
Yep.
Nice.
So I get to roll another one, right?
Just one though.
Oh, that's another 6.
Then you roll it again. Oh
So
my
that's
goodness.
12.
She's gonna hit your moonshot.
That's a 5. So
Okay, so what's the total?
5 is a 17 right there without any of my
Wow. You got a 17. Okay. So
he was like, fuck.
I'm a genius.
tell me.
Guys.
Who made this system? God damn it.
So tell me what you did when you were working with this device, because it's literally just think of it like you know how you have a Wi-Fi router and you have a booster? That's what this is, right? How did you use a Wi-Fi router extension to send a signal back to where the source is to hijack it?
I need some hacking skills. Anyone with
What did you do?
knowledge?
Make up whatever bullshit you want.
So basically, I have my little scan machine, right? So basically, I changed the signal that was being routed to the bees from that other remote control. I changed the signal to different signal from my machine.
Nice. All right, so you're shocked, but you're holding this device and you're like, wait a minute, I can issue commands to the mechanical bees now.
I'm like, whoa, I have an army of bees, everyone. This is so cool.
Have them bring me a chicken.
Great.
You can add to your inventory, add a transmitter to your inventory, and note that it can cast the spell Call Hive Mind at will.
Nice.
Ooh.
For the
Takis,
record,
can your bees bring us dinner?
Oh, maybe in little pieces. I mean, they are like small.
Well, like a lot of them could carry a chicken, and we only had alcohol upstairs.
They don't have
not enough, I say.
Not enough
bring mead
alcohol
as
to
well.
forget that I'm
They
hungry.
might
They
be-
make us mead.
They could probably give you drops of honey.
I'm gonna switch back to Patty really quick as you guys are
Okay.
thinking about what's happening.
But let me try, and I recalled them back to like look for food.
Try to call
or-
them.
Yeah.
So you send a signal return. See that there's a few signals you can send. One is attack, one is return, and then you could literally cast a spell Call Hive Mind, which lets you do more. But those are the main commands. So while you have had enough time to go into these other rooms, as you surmise and follow these groups of bees, they have gone to 6 other rooms, and it's the 4 other captains, and they've stung all of them. And they all seem to fall into a slumber as soon as they sting them. And then they all amass back in. They all kind of hover together and they're just waiting. And they're about to leave, but suddenly you see their activity shifts, which probably aligns with when Yurri was messing with their controls.
Yeah.
And so now they're kind of hovering and waiting in that main ventilation shaft with you. As you look at them, you can see almost all but a few of them have these empty cylinders in their abdomens, but some of them have green fluid in some of the cylinders.
Oh, I see. So some of them are full.
Mm-hmm.
I want, the main guy that he tried to seduce, Lyron was seduced. Yes, I just had an idea, and I'd like to go to his room as a bee.
So you're not sure where his room is?
Well, I think, didn't I see when Lyron was seducing him and he was going up the stairs?
So I don't know if they made it to the room. I know they went upstairs to talk, but then there was only about 3 minutes of the spell, right? But I would say you have been to all of the inn rooms. You would guess based on the dimensions of the space. The only rooms that were unoccupied, there was a room which looks like, if you were to guess, maybe it was like Jafar Fat's room himself, because it seemed like more of an office/study. And all the other rooms had captains. There's one big room, which was probably your room, which was empty. But there doesn't seem to be a room for Felix, at least on this floor.
Let's fly upstairs.
You want to go further up?
Let's go upstairs.
Right. So
and just buzz around
you go all the way up to the ceiling. All right. So here's what you see then. So we'll let everyone see this as well. So I'm gonna pull up that map really quick, so you can kind of see what's happening up there.
I was just turning off the below decks map to make it less confusing, but that's even better.
So you go up to the, let's see if it's showing that map yet on the main screen. So it's like the middle of the night at this point. Is it not updating? Is everyone else seeing this map?
I'm still looking at the basement.
Me too.
Me too.
I changed it, so I'm not sure. Let me try refreshing your page.
Yep, I'm on airships now.
Okay, there you go. So when you go to the roof, the third floor beyond where the rooms are, you're in the roof itself, and there's airships parked. There are 4 of them, and what you're seeing is, as you're going up into the roof, you see that Felix is standing out there on the roof with Edwin. So I'm going to make him visible on one of the parapets, and he's standing near the edge where there's an empty slot for another dock for airships. And in the darkness of the night, the clouds are parting, and you're seeing this very massive airship approaching. Huge airship. It dwarfs the size of the others. And it has many royal flags on it. It's clearly a high person in design, because of the kind of, you think of like the elven patterns on it, the very swoopy, curvy structures. And so it arrives and it docks. And once it docks, there are men pouring out of it who are dressed similarly to Felix. And they're amassing on that parapet. And he's like pointing in directions, and they're starting to like make their way across the roof.
I see. Should I get close enough to hear them? I don't want them to swat me as a bee. I think this is super suspicious, and I am going to. Where are these men headed? Are they headed in specific directions? Can I follow some of these men?
You can see there's a ton of them coming out. They're kind of pouring out in all directions in the roof. They're going towards the other airships, and it seems that they're boarding those airships. They start disappearing inside the airships. Some of them are going downstairs to the second floor. They seem to be very wary. He's shouting at them, and they're like taking equipment off of the big airship. As time passes, they're pulling things out of the other airships.
Okay, and as I see that,
organizing them.
As I see that, I think they're definitely stealing from these other captains, these other ships, and so I'm going to hurry back to the crew.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way back
as fast as my poor little bee wings can fly.
Buzz yourself back. Great. All right, so flipping back to the other side. All right. Yeah. So she'll get there after we have a little bit. So you guys what are you doing now? Are you unleashing this amber dwarf? You're muted.
I don't have
Jon.
any reason not to unchain him at this point.
Jon, you muted. Can't hear you.
Oh my god. All right, I'll try to stop down. I'm trying to be polite and not have typing chatter. Yeah, I think we are all under the same impression that like these guys
He's
are a threat
grumbling.
to us.
Complaining.
Like maybe keep Lirin the Lightfoot hidden just in case. Like needs to do some stabby like from the dark if things go south. But I think we're going to try to light up the area to release them and also unchain them at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do the sparkly bits on them again?
That's up to the thirsty.
Yeah, I think for all of his disaffected attitude, I think Lyran understands these people are not in a jail or a prison. They're in someone's basement. And that doesn't read like they should be here. So I'm going to go ahead and light them up, awaken them, and then see what I can do about unlocking or breaking the chains.
They're like, oh, Balin! Who are these people? And they all start having the same kind of conversation again. Where's
Don't
my
worry
app?
about it. We're just guests at the inn who decided to sneak around in the basement. So we're just letting you go now.
These Nim are here to save us, and this high person commands them. And then, so you're working on
Yes, correct.
unlocking the chains. So between the bunch of you, I'm sure you can unlock the chains. It's not a big deal because there's many thievy types here. So you probably unlock them, and you're gonna let the chains off of them.
Yeah.
So they like rub their wrists, and Balin says, "Skull, assess the damage. Tannen, make sure the queen is safe." And he's wandering around, and he says like, "This is terrible. I could only wonder what will become of the inn."
What exactly happened to you three? You mentioned the clockwork Edwin came?
We
How
were
did
set
he?
on by him? He has psychic powers. He disabled us, and then he enchained us.
Powers, you say?
Indeed.
And I'll be the judge of that.
Sorry.
That was the dwarf coughing, right?
Yeah, he's coughing. He's like coughing up stone chunks. He says, "Never before have we been attacked in such a rude manner. They must know that we are protectors of the hive."
And why is that important?
That they are protectors of the hive?
Yes, a beehive.
Oh. Sit, young high person. I will explain the nature of the amber dwarves.
I am quite young by the reckoning of my people, yes. The same age as this old human.
Indeed, you are quite young, and this is why you must be educated, as well as you fine lasses. Now, see, many thousands of years ago, this desert was a paradise, green and lush, full of life. And when it was turned into the thing it is today by the tales that are lost to time, the great god Alderan, he wept for what was lost. And did you know, little Nim, that back then we were as giants, storm clouds. We could see the whole of the world. But Alderan, who was our god, he wept, and into the oceans, into the deserts, rose up these apis bees in memory of what was lost. And so since then, we have kept each hive across the desert alive as a memory of the past.
So the bees represent the former geological state of this desert.
They are what remains. They are what remains of a time that has since been lost.
And just to be clear, your god's name is Alderan.
Alderan, yes. You must know him, and to those of you who are Nim, he is a god in your mythology.
I've heard the name. All right. Well, I still don't quite understand why you were imprisoned in the first place.
And then I'm like, obviously, it was a distraction because they wanted to put some clockwork bees in here.
There seems to be a takeover. A coup, if you will. A hijack shenanigans.
Well, the
Are
guy
you saying they have
upstairs,
painted my hive?
the guy upstairs absolutely loved me, and he said that he was just buying the place, trying to turn a profit, and then selling it.
That's because you cast a spell to try to bugger him. He would say anything at that point.
No, not to try and bugger
Wow,
him, just
you
to make
are
him
thirsty.
You
want me
did bugger
to.
him. I knew you were quick, but not that quick, old man.
No, listen, it's not about what I want. It's about making him want it.
Liran the Two-Pump is
You
what
know,
I
I
will start
thought
calling
you
you,
were thirsty.
Duke of Limbs.
You know what? Efficiency is something that everyone should strive for.
Thirsty is a very apt name for you, isn't it?
Patty, you have now returned.
Okay, and I'm gonna transform back, and I'm gonna be, you guys. So
Druid!
wait. The bees are putting all of the captains and all of their helpers to sleep, and there's this huge airship, and they're stealing from the other ships, and they're running into the hotel. I think it's some kind of a coup. I think that the bees were to poison or put the other guys to sleep. This big ship, all these people, they're stealing all the stuff from the ships.
What evil corruption! I knew
telling
that
you.
machine could not be trusted.
Again, everyone, bees.
I think she said beans, actually. It's something. I'm glad we skipped the buffet and ate before.
Not beans. Buzz, I was just a bee.
Yeah,
Now
yes,
I'm telling you
bees.
that the
Yes.
bees-
Oh, that makes much more sense with the hive.
Yes, I was
So-
telling the bees.
Druid.
They were stinging people. People couldn't wake up.
Okay.
Druid, may I ask you, in the modern era, have the female Nim come to be our rulers? And should I kneel?
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
I
How
know
the dark
they kneel. And the
I
rest
am
of
not
them
part
kneel.
of Nim culture.
We're like
I
the
have no
queens. Yes,
answer.
They
Yes.
kneel.
But
You're doing
they're
very
using
well.
the bees to poison all of the other guests, and then this ship arrived to steal all the stuff off of these ships.
What a
Blasphemy!
genius plan. I mean, what a nefarious plan.
We have to go.
We
I
must
don't know what
tell.
we're gonna do.
We must tell Jafar Faht that what is happening, that his inn is being beset upon.
He's gone. He retired.
What?
We were told
how
he
are we going to
retired.
spider these people?
Mr. Faht was here but days ago, before we were attacked.
We have no idea where he is.
We were told that he sold this inn to its current owner.
Oh, that is absurd. And then he turns to Skull, and Skull says, Jafar Faht would never sell the inn. It is his livelihood. He is sworn as we are to protect this place.
Well, let me tell you, I cast a spell upon the current owner that made
Yes.
him want to get into bed with me. And I will tell
Oh.
you, there is no way that he was lying to me, at least not lying very well.
I told you we should not have trusted that bed-swerving Rantalion. No good.
So my question is it possible that his clockwork assistant somehow conned him?
I know not of this man you speak of.
What was his name again?
Upstairs, where all the ships are docked. He's up there too with the clockwork guy.
Yes, that's right. My friend Alonzo can make a wonderful staircase for you to traverse so that we can go up there.
Fuck's sake. I could have if you would let me share that dimension door, besides taking away half my magical prowess.
Oh, I forgot you were a human. I'm sorry.
San, did you see what the big people, what flags they were, or what colors they were wearing?
Ah.
I did.
It's a high person ship. In fact, I think you all would know those flags. The flags
Person ship.
that speaks of the House Maleficent, which you know is the house of one Kendra the Maleficent.
Oh no, I know it.
Not
Not
her.
Kendra. Wait, you guys all know Kendra?
Well, she does do these really interesting experiments.
She was running experiments on me. Yeah, I kind of know her.
Oh, she was running experiments on you.
Yes, briefly, because I got out.
Ah, I see. Yes, I know her as well. She is most devious.
You
She
know,
stopped me when I robbed her.
that would make a lot of sense if you were robbing her.
Yes, but you had to be there, you understand? She was definitely the bad guy in the situation.
I
We
mean, what-
believe that she's the bad guy.
As much as I hate to agree with him, I can confer that she is quite the Conson Quinn.
But is she really that bad? I mean, she does work with clockwork.
Why do you have a
Everybody who works with
patch
clockwork
that
are
says
good
I love
people?
Kendra?
Takis,
quite
you need to start to understand that there's a difference between shared interests and moral rightness.
The Tannen, who's the shortest of
Yeah,
the three dwarves,
yes.
goes over to you, Lyrin the Thirsty, and he says, "Is there some discord among the high people?"
No, not as a general rule, but I mean, every now and then there's just an asshole.
And this Kendra is the asshole.
Absolutely. Also, our city fell. It was probably Takis's fault.
The high city fell?
You didn't know? You
She's
said you were
always
only here for
messing with
days.
stuff.
How long have you?
We are not interested in the outside world. We do all work for centuries.
That's
But the
funny.
Magic
I'm not
City
interested
falling?
in the inside world.
The Magic City falling is terrible news.
Uh-huh. How long ago was that, by the way?
I would say, since you have a human among you, probably recently, maybe within years.
Like 10 years?
Yeah, in space of that, I would say maybe. It's you
Okay.
guys.
Long enough that everyone knows it, but not long enough that everyone's used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys live literally under a rock with
Yeah.
light streaming through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, you guys, we have to do something.
All right, look, I will dimension door them up to the top, and they can help us figure out what's going on.
There is a
Everyone?
door that leads below if you wish. And he walks over to this door here.
I'm sorry,
Can that take us to the
below,
roof?
He
like
says,
below the-
we are in the basement
Building
level of the inn, but this door here leads inside.
it
leads
goes
back
inside the
outwards.
inn.
Oh, it leads into the underbelly, where Jafar keeps the catacomb storage. And
Okay,
then that
but
will go upwards.
But
That
if
must
you
be a
walk
place
out
to
of
hide.
What's that?
the light, you will turn to stone, correct?
In time, now that we've been awakened, we can get a proper sun bath and we should be fine.
You could just spark them up as we go along. It just give a little.
The prolonged darkness makes us slumber.
Hence the chains.
I see.
Well, they trained us up as well.
So are we talking
Well,
5
hold on.
minutes, 2 hours? What's the expiration
Oh, we will be
date?
fine. Now that we have awakened, we will be fine.
All right, well then let's go explore the sub-basement.
What could go wrong?
Indeed. All of the threats that we are aware of are upstairs, but we shall go down below.
But we will come up their innards.
You
Maybe
never
we
know
will
what
find
we'll
Jafar.
find.
Anyway, I could carry. How big is this transmitter, by the way? Can I carry it with me, or have Fifop carry it?
I think it's the size of you. So you could probably strap it to Fickfox's back. You like?
Yes, I will do that.
All right. So
Integrate
let's
it
add a
into Fickfox.
transmitter to your inventory as well.
Nice.
And Fickfox's the one. It's on his back.
Mhm.
Tie it
Well, you
to
got some nice stuff today, Tagus. I'm
Yes.
jealous.
I have so much things to tinker with. I'm so excited.
Indeed.
Nah.
Or maybe I could tinker with you. I do like to tinker once in a while.
Yeah, you were so helpful in getting in me hijacking this thing. You know, that wrench you gave me was very useful.
I know my wrenches.
Yes,
Balin
good for the people,
says-
too.
Balin says to his brothers, "Stay here and protect the hive. I will go with them." So if you want, this Amber Dwarf can become an NPC in your party. So when you have an NPC in your party, what they do is they don't have stats or abilities. They have a tag to invoke. So what that means is when you're doing stuff in an adventure and you have an NPC in your party, if you want the NPC to help you in some way, any of you can use him as a story tag. And he's assumed to be helping at all times. But as long as when you use that story tag, it means he's doing something in particular to help you. So it gives you a +2 to your action. Or you can have him go do something, but he can only be invoked once in each turn that something is happening.
And we
Okay.
can if we're in combat, we can use him to tie someone up, but you can't use him to like kill someone or anything like that.
He's always assumed to be fighting and helping, but he can't make any progress because the players are the ones who do that.
Just like a video game, basically. Like it's
Right.
it's like we don't have to.
Jackie Wells,
And
always shooting guns,
tag is-
never killing anybody.
His tag is for the hive, so that's what you have to finagle that tag to work when you want him to do something.
This is
Okay,
Balin.
yeah, let's take him.
So Balin
Daniel,
says,
I know
"I wish justice." Sorry.
we're a few minutes early here, but would you say
Yeah.
this is a good point to break for
Yes.
our break?
I think absolutely.
All right.
The last thing he'll say is like, I will help you to seek revenge against this clockwork fiend for disrupting our hive.
You know, fiend is such a derogatory word. Maybe we could. He's an alleged fiend.
The clockwork and the machines are the work of evil, and we must smash them to bits.
No, look at Faht right here. He's great. He's so gentle.
Fiendish.
Why are you such an apologist for these?
Again, Takis,
terrible
didn't you
months
die?
All right, I can take the break.
All right.
That could go on forever.
Yeah,
We'll see everyone in about 10 minutes. Here where I am in California, it's about 9:53, so we'll be back around 10 minutes from now. So
Okay.
everyone there.
10 minutes. Okay, cool.
Through it or open it a little.
If
And,
you could squeeze under, that'd be fantastic. But I don't know.
well, I'm not a mouse.
Oh, that's
Not-
not a mouse. The
no.
other, you're the mechanical one. No,
No.
you're the sneaky, sticky fingers. Yes.
Yes.
Do your thing.
Are you going to try and listen?
Yeah, I'll try to listen through the door.
No, you guys aren't. It's pretty easy. It's a wooden door. It's not a stone door. So if you listen, you can kind of hear the talking. It seems to be a number of voices. And we can roll and see how much you know specifically. But they seem to be talking jovially. They sound like human voices. They're men. They're saying things like, "Oh, that was a long ride." And the other one says, "I have to think how quickly we're gonna get out of this place." And the other one says, "Well, you know, Felix likes to dally a bit. He's always for the flashes." And then the other one says, "Well, if we can get all the gear up through tonight, then I think we'll be out here by midday tomorrow at worst." And then the other one says, "Well, what about the captains? What was the deal with that?" And then he says, "I don't know. They had some plots. It's just how it goes with Felix." And then he says, "It's your turn." And they're hearing like flipping of cards.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn around and I'll relay all of that to them. So
How many?
they're.
Oh, give me a check to see how many you think are there. So a D6 plus your deft, and if you have anything that would help you with espionage or hearing.
Let's see.
This is a relatively easy check, so I would say
I have perception,
7. Perception would absolutely work.
I knew I.
and let me see. Ooh, you know what? I can create disguises.
So if you roll 2d6, you have advantage with deft, and then you add a +2 with perception, and add your deft.
Okay, yeah, I think that is gonna be it. So 1d6, you said?
Yeah. 2d6 because you have advantage.
Oh, okay.
And take the best of the two.
All right. So I rolled a 6, and then that's plus my deft and plus the perception,
So on the 2d6, you rolled a 6 and a...
plus 4 for deft. So that's 14.
Oh no, so you roll 2 dice, right? So one is a 6, and then what's the other one?
A 4.
Okay, so you take the 6, so that explodes. So 6, roll that again.
Oh, I forgot.
You get more dice.
Yeah.
That one's a 3.
So that's a 9 already. Now you add your deft, and then a +2 for perception.
Okay. So that will be 13, and plus 1 for the perception.
It's 2. So 15?
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, you can hear them quite clearly. There seems to be only 2 men sitting at this table. They're clearly sitting down. That's how accurately you can hear. They're playing cards. You're pretty sure maybe there's like 2 hands between them. The room is not very large that they're in, but it's much larger than this closet that you're appearing to be in. And they also seem to be armed, and wearing probably armor, from what you can tell how they're moving and sitting.
Okay. I'm going to relay this to the others.
And I'll say, you guys, that sounds like some of the guys that came off that ship.
I say we bum rush them.
I want to send a couple of my bees to them.
How
And you
far?
know
How many
how
times
to
can you
do that?
use that? How many times can you use that? Is it?
So you have an instance of calling hive mind.
How many times can I call this instance of hive mind?
Roll a d6.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, 6 times!
Nice.
And then you'll overload them, basically.
Okay. I'm
Question.
going to roll hive mind, and then I'm going to tell my bees to sting them, the ones who still have poison in them or whatever sleeping agent they have in them.
Okay, so you're gonna try and call the hive mind, but Steve had a question.
Oh, it's just a system question, just because. But did you mean 6 times ever or 6 times per
6
session?
uses ever before this device will malfunction and break.
Okay.
Before the bees will overload.
So you can use it 5 times. Is what he's saying.
Yeah, then we'll tinker with it again.
Yeah, and then in an emergency, we'll use it 6 times.
Okay.
Final scene.
So if you're gonna crank them and try and command them where they are and then send them into this room. Now the difficulty is getting them to this particular location because you're underground. So I want to see if they have any trouble actually getting to this room. So I need some kind of wayfinding check. So I think this would be a smart check. You're kind of like getting them through the maze of this underground to this particular room. It's gonna be tricky because it is underground. So I need a 9. So it's a D6 plus your smart. And you can add the clockwork engineering to it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble getting them here.
Okay, 4 plus my smarts is a 4.
8, and then you have engineering.
And yes, I do. So.
All right, great. So you get these bees in here. So it takes a good 10, 15 minutes. I'm gonna cough. Sorry. It takes a good 10, 15 minutes, but then you start to hear buzzing. And then you hear the men saying, the damn bees, they're getting in here somehow. And the other one says, get your coat on. And then there's some commotion in there. And then you hear a door slam open, and then there's footsteps. And then you're hearing buzzing in this room.
Well, then, shall we proceed?
Yes, obviously.
I haven't heard any like thump.
So actually, let me check on that.
I'm like, Lightfoot, what do you hear?
I should call up.
Right now I hear commotion.
Call Hive Mind. If you go to the website, you can look up Call Hive Mind. We're going to take a check against it.
I'll put it in the Discord as well if you haven't looked up.
Because they have stats. Let me just roll against Call Hive Mind to see if they were actually stung. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I think that's a thaumaturgy spell, right? So it's a death check you're making. That's a 1. Not a critical. So they have a 6 total. So resistance. So for you, you're gonna roll d6 plus your deft. And if you have thaumaturgy, you can add a +2.
If I have what?
The skill thaumaturgy.
Oh, I don't have that skill.
Okay.
But you are nin, so you can roll at advantage.
I rolled a 3, plus my death is a 7.
7, so you just got it. So yes, when you're listening, you do eventually hear one of them yell, "Ow! Oh, damn it!" And he's like, "Did it have the poison in it?" And he's like, "I don't know, god damn it!" And he's like you hear him smacking against the wall and then rummaging through something. And he's like, I'm not feeling good, James. And he says, "Screw you, I'm out of here." And you hear slump.
I think it worked. But someone want to check. Someone check for me.
Do you want me to open the door slightly, or do you want to bum rush in case?
The other guy's still in there, we assume, right? Not out.
You heard a door open, commotion.
I heard footsteps, but I'm not sure.
Footsteps out of the room.
I think you could probably peek in, I would assume. Just give it a look-see. They seem
Alright.
quite occupied.
Well, I'll do that, but I want to have ready my. I can't remember what it's called.
You guys are in this spot.
Look at this map.
My shuriken, if that's how you say it, the shuriken. My little pulling stars. I'm gonna have one of those ready when I open that door.
You're gonna peek
So,
through.
Yeah, so I'll
So
peek
you-
through.
You peek into this room, which appears to be empty. You can see the chair is turned over because they got up really fast. It looks to be kind of a study. And there's some papers on the desks. You're surrounded right now by barrels of that honey wine. There's a writing desk, and it looks like a journal on top of it. But they're playing cards on that table. It seems to be a well-kept kind of office.
Guys, come on, I think it's fine. Come on in. They could come back though, so be ready. So we're.
So if I can drop you guys' icons in here.
Okay.
Boom, you're all stuffed in this little closet right now. Boom.
Good thing we're small.
Boom. There you go. Yeah, you're all in there. And then you've also got an amber dwarf with you. And he is... Where the hell is he? There you go. It's getting hotter, yeah. Is there everyone?
Oh, am I in there?
Oh, it's him. Oh, no, it's him.
We're gonna move into that other room
Oh,
anyways, right?
There you go. Yeah. Everybody
All agree?
Yes. I move in and I look around and I glance at the papers.
So it looks to be a journal written in common, in a very elaborate cursive. And I assume we're going to start reading through it then?
Sure.
Okay, so you're looking at the journal. What else are we doing here?
I'll come in and I'll look around and see if anybody dropped any money on the ground as they were departing. Since they were playing cards, I'm sure they were gambling.
Let's see what you found.
You know,
Also,
sometimes you can
check
just play
pockets for
cards.
something cool.
Sometimes
You
you
found
can just play
65
cards.
gold. Ouch.
But,
Any profit. There is correspondence also stacked amongst the cards on the table. So correspondence, you're looking at the journal. The drawer of the desk looks like it was.
I think that's Finn got there. I'm in the back with the dark hood. Yeah, there we go. You want to read stuff on the table, Finn? Yeah, I do.
All right, so let's go with the journal, and then we'll look at what you're seeing on the table. So it looks like a journal, and it's a journal that has a log of what's happening today, obviously. As you're reading through, you can surmise that the journal appears to be written from the perspective of Jafar Faht himself. And it seems to be, now as you look around this room, the trappings, like the carpet, the murals on the wall, the trappings of the room suggest to you that this is like his personal office. As you're going backwards in time, kind of flipping through quickly, first he's somewhat annoyed with the Ember Dwarves. He complains that they're lazy, the production levels aren't where they should be, if they just kept better record keeping, but they won't let him improve his record keeping system. Lots of complaints, several pages of that. It's just a recurring thing. He talks about trying to go to the desert oasis to negotiate with these creatures that lived in holes, kind of an archaeological thing, to get safer access to the desert lotuses that the bees feed on. He's worried. There's an interstitiary entry about Zara, his daughter. He's worried that she's getting restless living out here, that he fears that she's going to leave him alone to toil when she comes of age. He believes she has a lover in the desert oasis, but he doesn't talk about it. And then as you get closer to the present day, there's talks about sightings of foreign ships that their markings are not native to Mamara, near the outskirts of the desert. And he concerns, he wonders, has war reached the Dune Sea? Are we truly insulated from all the trouble that's happening in the world? And then lots of notes about preparations for the arrival of the captains, because this is a regular yearly thing he does to make them comfortable. And then suddenly the journal is blank after that. As far as the papers on the desk, the thing that is most interesting to you when you pick up one of them, these appear to be letters, is there's a seal stamped on them in terms of where they come from. And this seal for Lyran the Thirsty is very conspicuous to you. It is the seal of Kendra the Maleficent. And this letter
she used to put on all of my papers when she was grading them.
Stamped F, stamp F. You get flashbacks, all the F's she gave. All her papers.
Fucking hate
and you're like,
this.
I did this right, and she stamped it, give it an F.
And
She didn't even read it. She didn't even read it.
Just stamped it.
As I'm going through this and reading this, I'm gonna say it out loud so you guys know.
So reading it, it seems to be instructions to Felix in particular. And these instructions outline the steps to take to secure the inn and to ensure that the airships are properly divested of their supplies, accounted for, so they can be added to her armaments. As you go through, there's also contracts in terms of her hiring the retainers, in particular Felix, to perform this work. It's somewhat vague. It doesn't explicitly say what they're doing, but it seems to be vaguely describing you are to go to the Fat Bottom Inn, you are to secure the location, you are to prepare for my arrival, and then to ensure that the airships are ready to be added to my armaments. That's the gist of the letters.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Alonzo, Fen was reading the initial journal, right?
Yep.
Is standing over Fen's
Yurri
shoulder.
is reading.
Oh wait, Yurri or Takis? Takis was reading the journal. Sorry, I'm in the wrong.
And the letters, I think Fen is reading aloud, right?
Right. Yeah.
I was just looking at the journal and reading out, and Balin just does not seem to wrap his head around what his actual duty. Like, I'm just reading all the bad parts about Balin really loudly.
I cannot believe that Lord Fat thinks such lowly of me. I do great work in the hive. And then he starts babbling about all the meticulous beekeeping he does.
My biggest concern is that all of whatever's going on here is going to go to Kendra. Then you said there was a large airship?
Yes.
Did somebody say they wanted to burn something today? It was you, Thirsty, wasn't it? Well, we should burn
I'm
that
going
ship.
down for a good light 'em up.
Let's burn that ship. Don't you want to get through to Kendra?
Well, she did give you an F. All those papers you're muttering about. Might be good for pen.
Good plan. Good plan. Let's do it.
You remember every time she walked over to your desk and she looked at the title of your paper and she just shook her head and she says, pitiful, F, and then she walks away. She laughed at you. That
Probably she's a little too thirsty for her preference.
How rude.
Well, I wouldn't go
Not
ahead
that,
either,
no.
but that's beside the point.
Who, this Kendra? We must destroy her. Is she the perpetrator of the corruption of my hive?
She is.
But now you have my axe and the axes of my brothers.
Oh, good.
Good.
Good then.
They are occupied, but they have axes, and if you wish, I can summon them. And they will
How many
bring them.
brothers do you have?
There are two others. Their names are Skull, and the other one's name. Hold on, the GM is processing.
So just those guys upstairs
Tiny
that turn
one.
to stone.
Tannen.
Oh, and the tiny one.
Tannen and Skull. Yes.
Just those guys that turn to stone every time the lights go out. Those guys.
Oh, we have days if we are kept in darkness. I am sprightly and full of rage.
Which is
Where to
why
go?
Well, not quite sprightly.
Interesting. Maybe we should call the army.
You have their number?
No.
And how do we call them?
Army do you speak of, old man? You do know
look.
your whole civilization has been crushed.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Alonzo. We're in an inn that a gigantic airship has been dispatched to. Do you have any idea how much money it takes to dispatch an airship? Someone's
I say
very
we're right
interested in
in
this
the shit,
place.
and so we need to raise our army, not just try to throw no.
Well, you
those
could try
are
to
good.
wake up all the sleeping people. Maybe they could help.
Yeah, again, waking up sleeping people sounds great because, like, why is it our problem?
Exactly.
We're in the
Doing
shit,
their
man.
stuff.
We're not in this shit. We could have gone to bed 2 hours ago.
Well, woulda, shoulda, could.
And our worlds could have been slit by these ruffians.
Best work at night.
If we would have gone to sleep, we probably also would have been poisoned by these bees.
And robbed. They could have stolen Thick Fox.
Do you know what the innkeeper's
Exactly.
evil
The
plan was?
robophile has a point.
And my opal.
Do you know what the innkeeper's evil plan was?
She would have got it back.
It was to run the inn really well and turn a profit. That was his evil plan. So we could have just slept and then left. That's what we could have done.
Libertarian?
It's like
There's a lot
something
of
in
China.
saying.
My axe thirsts for revenge.
Fine, I guess we'll murder.
We should find Jafar. It is the right thing to do.
I need
No,
so
I-
you're all talking quite loudly amongst yourselves, and
So
so
we're in the sub basement.
are.
So
especially
yelling at each other
dwarf.
in a room.
especially the Ember Dwarf. I'm gonna need let's see, the loudest among you, but not the NPC. So make a check. Who's the loudest here? Who would you say is the loudest?
Alonzo.
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 Larry the Thirsty.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be a little bit of a reverse of a check. Larry the Thirsty is gonna roll, but I'm going to I'm gonna apply disadvantage because of Alonzo also
Okay.
yelling. So I'm going to make a death check at disadvantage.
I'm sorry,
and
Dex,
I-
you said?
A death check at disadvantage, and you can add anything that would have helped you be more silent. And this is going to be a flat number of hard because you're so loud in this place. There's not much going on here. 11.
Okay, here's a question. I actually don't know where to see just my base Dex score.
But it should say deft is the number, yeah, on the top of the three numbers.
1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 6.
Oh, deft. You're saying deft. Okay.
Deft, sorry, yeah.
+3. Got it. It's a
So you roll
disadvantage.
2d6 and take the worst, yeah. Because Alonzo's helping you do worse.
The total is 6.
6, okay. So
I
I
got a
call for
6
11.
and a 3 on the die. There you go.
So your voices are echoing in this place, and you're hearing you hear what sounds like, and then you hear and then it was like, and then you're hearing footsteps. Outside
Coming
the
this
room.
way, probably.
Yes.
Alonzo, you have attracted enemies.
Alonzo, time for your bum rush. I'll stay
How
here.
the
in
hell
back
is this
of
my fault? He yelled.
Okay.
What about rushing bums?
Everyone here who's a human, raise your hand. See, I rest my case.
James, I told you to keep it down in there.
Alonzo's. So, oh, wait. Lightfoot heard James. I didn't hear James, right? Were you going to say Lightfoot? Right.
Yeah. I was just whispering to you to say James was cheating.
James is cheating! I say in a very confident voice. And
Are you
he's
trying
also
to-
stinking up the place with his thoughts.
Who the hell are you? I want you to make an influence check to see if
Yep.
you can actually convince him.
He's outside around the way?
The voice seems to be coming from down this hallway somewhere.
While that's happening, Takis is slowly moving towards the back.
Got it. Okay.
Oh yes, I am definitely finding a hidey corner to be in.
And is none of the bodies were left, like they got out before they slumped.
Oh, that is a good point. There is this guy who's slumped. Well, you see his boots. He's like slumped against the wall here. I can't like place him right against the wall, but you see this guy?
out
He's
in the
like
hall.
laying in the hall. You see maybe his boots from the doorway.
And this voice is coming from that
The
direction.
voice is coming further down the hall. Yeah.
I'm gonna back up with my bow ready. But around the door's open from where we came from, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's like an opening. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right around the corner there.
Okay.
So here's what I don't know who this guy is outside.
I need to check first.
Well, okay.
Because you called out to him.
I was going to use something.
Oh, what do you use?
I was going to use a fate point.
Oh, all right. I'm listening. So for the class, fate points. You have 3 of them, right? You can only when they go away. There's no way to bring them back except for the very special mechanics that we don't really have access to in this one shot, other than your alignment, which we can talk about separately. But basically, if you use them, they go away. So use them carefully. What the Fate Point lets you do is one of three things. You can take control of the narrative and add something that isn't there, or you could potentially improve something that's not possible with the rules. You can save yourself from death, so defy death, or you can explode a die, and you can only get 3 uses of them basically. If you invoke both of your weaknesses against yourself in a single session, you get a Fate Point back.
There's secret ways to get them. Not secret.
The other one involves ethos, but I'm not going to go into it.
Anyway, I'm going to control the narrative for a
Yes.
second and say that as he was crawling out, he ripped off his dog tags.
Oh, okay.
I know for a fact that this is not James, and James is gone now. Like, what?
It would seem that there was 2 men in that room. One, you heard a door close and probably left the room. The other one's lying on the ground.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna say that that this guy isn't James. So I'm pretending to be James.
Okay.
That's my narrative advantage.
Yep.
So to convince this guy, I'm gonna say, that bastard was cheating out there. I had to give him what he deserved, and you can't stop me. And I'm gonna get away from the door. So basically, I'm trying to draw them in so that my buddies can all jump them.
Got it. He's like, oh, fuck James. James is a cheater. We all know this. Are you taking a second shift? Hold on. I'll be right there in a minute. I've got to stop this stupid man from torturing this. Stop poking the thing. I told you. Stop poking it. You're just going to make it angry. All right, I'm coming. And you see this man come out of the entranceway. And then he's walking. Oh, what the hell? What's happening here? And he sees the man who's on the ground. Like,
You had too much to drink. Come here and help me with this.
Hold on a second. It seems like he's been stung, and he steps into the doorway. All right, so now you all have surprise on him. So what this means is you all get a round of actions against this man as he enters the doorway. So everyone roll a d6 so you determine your initiative, just so I know who goes first. So roll d6. If you have perception, add a +2. You're all gonna get to go. I just want to know what order we're doing.
Okay, perception would get a +2.
You add a +2 if you have perception. Yeah.
Okay,
Just
so that'll make
One.
that'll make my roll a 3.
3. All right.
You mean that?
6.
I
All
got
right.
4.
And 4 for Patty. Oh, she's frozen. I can't. It's
4. 4.
Gotcha. All right. So 6 looks like 6 is first. So the man comes into view. What are you doing later in the thirsty? And we'll go around after.
I am going to. So this is him right here.
Yeah. And he's like, what? Oh my god!
I'm just gonna go back here.
Oh, so you're gonna step back. You can also hold your turn. So you're holding your turn. Got it.
Yeah, all I'm doing is getting out of his line of sight. So I
can't
will
see you.
hold the rest of my turn if he's threatening. But if he's non-threatening, I will just be out of sight.
All right. So when you hold your turn, let me know if you want to interrupt because you can go before anyone else later in the chain. So that was 6. I think we have 4 next. So was that right? Yep.
Lightfoot, what did you have?
Oh, I had 3.
3. Okay. So yeah,
Alright.
Patty and Takis for 4.
Great. Because we usually have like a friend of mine who's fantastic and has built something called Taskmaster, and his makes my life so much easier. It's our interface, and he manages our initiative. He's not here, so we got 4. David, call it to David. All right, so this is Takis. What are you doing? The man is reaching for a weapon on his belt.
So I'm like, fick fuck, and he hands me his my handgun,
Huh?
and I go like this, and I aim, and do I have time to shoot?
Yeah, you gonna blast him?
So I blast him.
All right, you got an advantage when you blast him because you're surprising him. All right, let me roll. So you're gonna roll a d6. I believe a gun is a smart weapon, so d6 plus smart, and if you have the skill firearms, you add a +2. Let's go fast.
Started
Roll.
blasting.
Start blasting.
You do have
So 8 is what I have.
And you said I have advantage, right? Because I'm.
Yeah. Yep, still have advantage because you're surprising.
Okay, so that's my second roll is much better. It's a 5. So plus smarts is a 9.
All right, you absolutely hit him. And then +2 for firearms if you have that.
Yes. So that's
All right. You blast him almost at point range. Now you'd roll a d6 for the damage. I just want to see if it's more than 1.
It is a 3.
Right. You blast him in the gut. He's like, "Oh God!" And he slams against the wall, and then he slides down and slumps, and he's dead.
I'm like, that's
Oh, wow.
for the little people.
Oh.
Way to go, Takis.
Now, with that loud blast, you hear, and then you hear tromping down the stairs, down the hallway, and into view comes this enormous man. And now let me see. Do I have a picture? I need everyone. The rest of you can continue your initiative. You're still in the surprise round. I just want to show you what this picture looks like. Images. So I have this guy. Where is he? Yeah, here we go. He is dragging an enormous spiked club behind him. And he looks down the hall and sees the 2 dead men, and he starts roaring. The other 2 can act, though, still. So we got the 3s. And, of course,
Who's next? Because I can put poison on my weapon, too.
All right, so we got Fen, and we have...
Well, did Patty go? Or is Fen go?
Fen, and we have Lightfoot. All right, so you guys are going at the same time, so what are you doing?
Fen was 4, Lightfoot's 3.
Oh, okay. So then, Fen, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I guess I am going to have my bow out, and he
Bow
is.
out.
Let me see on the owlbear. It was just that man. Let me see.
Yep. He's
So
like
he's
down the
on
hall.
end of the hallway.
Yep. And you're like, in this space. You can. So in terms of how far you can move it around, in this case, this is a very small room. You could move halfway through this entire space. So you can kind of put yourself wherever you want.
So can I come like right about here?
Around the corner.
And then I'm gonna step out and shoot him with my bow.
Shoot him with a bow. Great. All right. We're gonna pull this guy up. So you're going to make an attack. So that's a D6 plus your deft. And if you have the skill, I think it's missile, you can add a +2. Where is this guy? Here it is. So I'm gonna roll.
Can I add something to, or just tell something to Fed? If you want to, you're also allowed to make called shots. To say like you want to shoot him a specific way, like to take out a knee or something like that, because of your precise ability, you don't have disadvantage. But you can also just shoot him for damage, like you're doing.
So I rolled an 11.
What you're saying is I can say I'm gonna shoot him in the head, or I'm gonna shoot him in the gut, or
if you try to like kill him, like it's harder. But you can do like if you can create a fun narrative for it, he'll usually let you go.
Well, he's a big guy, right?
Dude, he's hulking guy. He barely fits in this hallway. He's like leaning down a little bit.
I'm gonna shoot him
He's
in the
also
groin.
drooling a little bit. In the groin, nice. All right,
That's what I'm going for.
Called shot. So what that does is it applies disadvantage to your roll, but you have precise, so it's going to be a normal roll for you. So it'll be a D6 plus your deft, and then you add a +2 if you have missile.
Where would missile be?
It's your skills, and you do have it.
Yeah. All right. Get that 11.
Okay.
And you roll at advantage because she's an M. So
yeah.
So I got 11. You said I do have missile?
Yeah.
So what do I get for that?
It's +2 for the skill if you have that.
Okay. 13.
Got it? All right. So you shoot him. It shoots him right in the groin. How much damage does that do?
My bow does... What does that say? +7.
So it'll be a little hard. Yep.
+4.
4 damage. He goes, oh! And he buckles over. What that's gonna do is it's stunning him for his action once the next initiative begins. So he's curling over. Oh! He's squealing from the pain. All right, that was 4.
And it also says that I have precise on this weapon, so I didn't have to take disadvantage, just FYI.
Well, so you were call shotting him, right? So it gets rid of the disadvantage, and then you have advantage. That's why I rolled 2 dice.
Okay.
Yeah. So you did it okay. You did exactly as you wanted. Yep, you shot him exactly.
I got him, but
Yeah. Yeah. So he's buckled over. That was 4-3. And that is Lightfoot. What are we doing?
Okay, so can I scooch in behind
Underneath her.
like yeah, right around her basically. You said he's bent over, so he's not gonna see me.
Yeah.
So I'll still get my stealth advantage.
Yep.
I rolled a 6.
Nice. So it's 11. So it'll be over.
So do I roll that again? Does it explode? Or
Yeah. Whenever you roll a 6, you roll it again, you add the result.
okay, so that's 6 plus 5. then that's gonna be my deft 9, assassin plus 2. That's 11. Reflex.
So let's start with the beginning. So you got you're deft.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
So I rolled oh, am I doing my math wrong? Rolled an 11.
So you rolled a 6 and then you rolled a 5.
So 11.
Yeah,
okay.
I rolled an 11. Right?
Yep, plus your deft.
Yes.
11 plus that.
11. Oh, so that's actually 15 plus that with the
And then
def.
the plus 2 from the weapon would be 17, right?
The assassin, yes, 17. The reflex,
Well, we're only adding missile because you only have it's the
Only
only
adding-
weapon that can be added. Yeah.
oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, missile for my throwing star.
Shooting. Oh, it's a throwing star. So then if you have throwing, you'd add a plus 2. So you don't have that. So that's 15. And now I believe you're an assassin, so that increases its damage.
Yeah.
So that does 3 normally, so you're gonna do 5.
Okay.
Right?
Now I've lost track of the total.
That's okay. No, you definitely hit him. So, all right, so that's he's keeling over and it stabs into him. You see part of his barbarian armor bursts open, and he's now stumbled back as this dagger is stuck in him. All right. Lear the thirsty, you still have your turn. Oh, sorry, Alonso.
Well, so it's my turn initiative. I'm looking at Lear and like, you're fucking gonna interrupt me, aren't you? Like, literally, whatever I do, like, I'm kind of like...
I can't interrupt until someone comes into my line of sight.
Okay, you're holding back.
You can peek if you want.
I can peek around the corner, you mean?
Yeah, like you have the initiative technically because you're.
I'll move back.
Move.
I'll move back out of the way.
So you can
Yeah, I'm still waiting for someone to come through the door, and then I have a pistol ready.
You can interrupt whatever you want.
I'll go in the hall and
Got it. All right, so Alonso, what are you doing?
Oh, fucking hell. Guess I have to clean up this mess, eh? I am going to... I don't want to spend that much.
What kind of weapons do they have on them, the dead people?
Oh, okay. Oh, so this guy is the one that they've all been attacking, that you guys have all been shooting at. He's the big barbarian kind of looking dude. This one's poisoned, and this one's dying from a gut wound. He's pretty much dead. So you asked what weapons do they have? So let's take a look. The men on the ground, they carry a crossbow and a bastard sword. And they also have supplies on them if you intend to search them.
Yeah, I want to do that, and I want to steal their shoes.
You got their shoes? Roll a d6 so we can see what kind of supply they have with their person.
I rolled a 3.
The 3, so 1, 2, 3 is consumable, so you have a consumable supply. Alright. Takis is pillaging their bodies. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I think because other people are here, I will not be pillaging the bodies.
Just shoot the one on the ground. He's like his
I'm
blood
gonna come
coming out of
here
his mouth, and you
see
shoot him. And he's
see what's going on with this guy. I think I'll shoot him.
And now he's very dead.
So, Takis, who are you?
Probably dead.
Who are you searching?
I was gonna search both of them,
Oh,
but if you
I
want
got
one
him.
of them, I'll just take the one I poisoned.
I was gonna go to the
Listen,
old
you-
dude, the big dude, and check him and take my arrow.
Oh, you can pull your arrow
Grab
out
my
of him?
throwing star. Yep, I'm gonna pull my arrow out and
So you guys are taking your weapons out of him. He's like trying to reach for his club on his. At the end of the turn, he's gonna try and act. But he's trying to reach for his club. And he's on the ground. He's stunned though at this moment, so he can't do anything. All right, so you pulled your pinions out of him. Alon, so what are you doing?
He is walking, like kind of looking at everyone, you know, looting and pillaging and executing people. Fuck's sake! It's the guy that is got stung. Is he dead yet? The one guy got
He seems to be snoring. The one who was
I
poisoned.
think we should tie him up and question him.
Jackie's is stealing crap from him.
And his shoes.
Took his shoes off.
Very hard to move in the desert without shoes.
take way too long to tie up and ask questions. Fuck it! Memory Steve! Just gonna go. Just go into his brain.
Memory Steve out of him, pull it out.
Come on! I've got the best knives for questioning people!
You can have him afterwards. I just want the peak of the matter, and you can get the salty details.
Yes,
What memory are you looking for?
we'll get all the actual information with magic, and then you can just fuck with them all you want.
Exactly.
Wow, it's not worth it then.
He can't resist you because he's unconscious of whatever you're searching for.
How about where Jafar is?
Oh,
Does he
okay.
know that?
Or
Or whatever
So,
information he knows about you.
he came from the other. Well, he was the one who was. Yeah. So basically, you have your memory. Is he came down with two other men and this jailer. And beginning his memory, they go into this room. And he, in his head, he's thinking about where Felix told him to go and to, set up shop and to start the procedures. And he's going down this very hallway, and he turns and he looks, and you can see there's these jail room cages, and you see an old man's head. He's alive, but he's neck deep. It looks like in some kind of like dirt or like semi-fluid material in a jail cell.
Wow.
And he nods and thumbs up, and then he goes into the other room, and he says, "James, let's play a game." And then they sit down.
And I pull away my what are those fucking things called? Why can't I think of the name? The old, like, they put the wheel in.
Oh,
Guys, yeah, help me with this. You know what this is. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Come on.
no,
Yeah,
you put a little circle in there.
yeah, the circle. What is that called?
I'll find
Where'd
out.
you find your... Alright. Take it to the chat. We'll figure this out. But anyway, he pulls it away and goes, "You sick
In this
fuck."
room.
And he kicks the guy in the stomach first. And then he blahs to the rest of the group that what Jafar's predicament currently is. Like, and it sounded like from the context that this is right before they started this game. So he is alive. He's nearby. Do I have any indication what direction he was coming from?
They're over here somewhere.
Okay. So I would blah that all to everyone.
So the guy that's down that I just pulled the arrow out, he's dead.
Yes. No, he's stunned right now, but he can't do anything right now. He's reaching for his club, but he's stunned, so he's kind of like woozy as you're pulling things out of him.
Yeah, okay.
He's
So can we just kill him?
Oh.
start curb stomping him.
Is there any
Yeah,
reason
we'll
not
just-
to just kill him?
Kill him?
Dude, who else has an action left? We had memory received. You guys pulled your weapons out of him. You're pillaging, so it sounds like Lyron the Pharisee has an act. No, you shot the dead man.
Yeah, I shot him.
Now it's another initiative. So everyone roll an initiative. D6, and if you have perception out of +2. Because now my guy is not stunned.
I rolled a 3.
I got a 2.
5.
Yeah, if you can hold up a hand.
Well,
I'll try to. Times 3.
He's gonna manage it for me.
Yeah, 3 for Lightfoot, 2 for Fen, and 7. And Lightfoot, did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Sorry, just
I have a 5.
all right. So first up is the thirsty one.
All right.
What?
Thirsties.
Now, is there a reload property on my pistol?
Yeah, there's no ammo to worry about. You can fire all day long.
Use one of my knives.
No, I'll just shoot him, thanks.
Yeah, you constantly be blasting.
Wasting ammo. I don't understand.
No, ammo's fine. Don't worry about it.
He's prone, so you can attack him with advantage. I'm gonna roll defense check.
That's 3 on the die plus, what do I do? Plus 6.
That's a 1. Poor guy.
9.
Yep. Okay, that's way more than he has a 6. So, you shoot him, roll a d6 for your damage.
That's a 6.
Okay. He is quite dead. You blast the man as he's reaching for his club, and then his meaty hand slumps. And he goes, oh.
Anyway, what do you guys want to do next?
does he have anything on his body that I want?
Oh, let's see. In fact, he
I was
does.
gonna ask the same question.
Depends what you're into.
He has the spike club. He was very scantily dressed. It's a massive spike club. It's about your size. He has one sheep on him, one sheep supply. He also has a variety of keys because he appears to be a jailer.
I'd like to take his keys.
All right, you've got his keys.
Can I just add, I love the fact that your initiative, we fucked around, we got back into initiative, and literally the first round of it, he's just like...
Out of initiative now, so you can do as you like. This guy's dead.
So I took his keys. He has one cheap supply. He has that club.
Yep, there's a massive club lying beside him. It's just a spike club.
I don't want that.
Since you're standing here near this jail cell, you can remove the fog. You see in one of the jail cells. I'm sorry, I didn't know if you say something, Fenn. It's cutting your audio out.
No.
Okay. There in one of the jail cells, you see this massive beetle that seems to be skittering around. In the jail cell beyond that, though, you see an old man's head, and the ground seems to be soft. So this man, who we see appears to be sleeping right now, he's neck deep in this muck in that jail cell.
Who knew that an inn would also have a jail cell? Wow,
What is
this is a very handy.
yeah.
Plug.
And you're peeking in there, it's like, "Ah!" And it's just like scratching at the jail cell and looking around. It seems to be there's some sticks on the ground where this large man was poking it.
Why?
As I see this giant beetle, can I pick up the club?
Yeah, you can pick up the club. It's a heavy weapon.
All right, I will add a heavy weapon to my inventory.
Put it on your back, I guess.
And there's nobody else in the other cells.
These cells seem very disused. Like they look like they're very dusty and they haven't been used for really anything.
Okay.
But there's a sleeping old man's head. He's got a long beard. Pull up the picture.
I'm gonna walk in there and knock on the old man's cage.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk with her. I'm gonna go right on with next to her.
His
Oh,
eyes
hey!
open.
That's that guy!
He's wearing a bit of a turban. He's got long, scraggly hair, but again, it's neck deep. His eyes open. His eyes are white, though, like they're cataracted. And he goes, oh, is anyone there? What's happening?
You tell me what's happening. Who are you?
Oh, I do not recognize this voice. I am Jafar Faht. Who are you?
I am Fen, and I think we're gonna let you out of that. What are you in? Poop?
Oh, it is wax. I believe my tormentors have chosen a very interesting way to imprison me with my own supply. But I thank you if you can get me out of here.
How long have you been in that wax? Do they never let you out?
They have given me water to keep me alive, but it has been some days.
So wax and poop.
Well, there's, I'm sure, beetle droppings from my pet. Oh,
That's
Oh,
your
can
pet over there?
oh yes, that is Betsy.
That is Betsy, your pet.
Alfonso, do not poke that.
Well, so as actually you guys are talking to him, I'm showing both Liren the Thirsty and Takis the Viewmaster, like the memories that I'm like, oh,
Please.
it's fucking him! I told you! Like, holding it up to their face.
So
If I had to guess, you sound to be Nim. Is that correct?
We are.
We are.
My senses are still strong.
let
Sure,
me
you
ask you a question, sir. Did you sell your inn?
Oh, of course not. I assume you have encountered that charlatan Felix.
Yeah.
I am now personally wounded.
Fucking told you so.
He wanted to get in your pants, but he still lied to you.
Son of a bitch.
Typical.
And you are traveling with a high person. May I ask which house?
Hold on. I will check my papers.
How's Thursday? How's Thought?
Yes. How's Thursday? That's good.
We just been mispronouncing it this whole time.
Is that actually a lore thing, or is that just for me to
It's
make?
totally up to you.
Okay, yeah. House Thursday is great then. I'm doing that.
One of the lower houses, yes. Can you tell me, is my daughter safe?
She is. Last time I saw her, last night, she was upset, but she was safe.
Good.
Fuck, what time is it?
It's like 3 in the morning at this point for you guys. Because you arrived just before evening.
Is Betsy safe?
Oh, yes, she can be irascible, but she is my pet.
Is
If
she
we
a
release her,
One at a time.
Go ahead, Fen.
if we release her, will she hurt us?
Oh, no. Do you have any honeycomb with you? There's probably summon my desk drawer if you want to give her a treat. But I think it would be better to get me out of this prison first.
Let's get you out.
Definitely. Finn, go ahead and unlock this.
Okay, so I am going to use his keys and unlock the door.
Pull it open, yeah. And you can see that this is like some kind of loose wax that they've poured in here. And if you like work together, you can just lift him out of it. He's a frail little old man, basically. It's clear that he's blind.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to lift him out. And you said your desk drawer has some honeycomb?
Yes. Although I believe this Felix is really a servant to some greater master, and there is something more valuable in my desk. If you could fetch it for me, is a small flute.
No, I'm on it.
A flute.
Oh yes.
So I'll go and get those items.
So you're in prison. You're in a prison in a dungeon, and what you want back is a flute.
Ah, my dear friend, it is no simple flute that I have in my desk.
Don't worry about him. He doesn't understand these things, but I do.
No, I do understand them. I just need you to tell me that it's magic.
Ah, yes. Yes, it is.
All right then.
So I'll bring him the flute.
All right, so you go to the desk. One of the keys that Patty has, or
Ben?
Fen has, is a key to unlock the drawer. So you open the drawer. There is a wooden flute in there. And when you bring it back, you can see conspicuously therein that it emanates magic. Some kind of conjuration magic. Do you hand it to him?
Yes, I'll hand it to him. It's not mine, and I don't just steal right in front of people. That's
Professional. There's a code here.
Yeah.
And
That's how I work.
2 minutes later, Lyra and Lightfoot has the flute again.
He turns to Lyran the Thirsty, and he holds the flute in his hand so you can see it, and he says, "This is a flute carved from the bones of a great sandworm, one of the great ancestors in this desert. And if played by a competent hand, it may summon that creature to my command."
Oh.
And then what?
I suspect that this Felix intends to take advantage of the captains here who have come to receive crews, and we will bring this worm upon him and teach him true justice.
Yes, let's do this, and time is ticking.
Okay,
Let's do that now.
Mr.
Let's get
Felix.
Betsy out of that cage and let's go.
One small point. You're going to summon a giant sandworm. You understand that the man is currently inside your inn.
This is a good point. Learn the first, was it Thursday?
Yes.
Learn of the house of Thursday. I must be at the highest peak of my inn so that the flute's tones may be heard in the desert wind.
Okay.
That's where he was the last time I saw him.
On the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we've got, all right. I
Where
suppose
the ships are
Hey,
all
is there a
set up.
secret way?
Sorry. Let's start with Lightfoot.
Is there a secret passageway? Like in castles?
There is a way through the Amber Apiary. It involves climbing, but otherwise there is a hallway. But beware, for it is trapped. If you take me with you, I can show you how to disarm it.
What do you guys think? That sounds like the best plan.
Well, of course
Otherwise,
we're going to take you with us.
we'll be going through hundreds of armed men.
Take us the secret way. We can all climb. I
It
assume.
terminates in the kitchen.
What was that last bit? Sorry.
He says it terminates in the kitchen. The
secret
passageway. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
So we'll have to make our way up from there on our own. Sounds good.
I must
Guns blazing, huh?
be certain that my daughter is safe in this chaos.
Well,
Of course.
Well, yes. Let's do that. Let's get going then. Time's wasting.
Move, move, move.
May I ask, what has brought you to defend my stead here? Why have you chosen to help me?
I didn't.
It was
Finn loved
because of the bees. I love the bees.
That is
Curiosity.
noble of him. Hopefully, the House of First Day will find it in their heart to take action, for there are dark times ahead.
Oh, we take action before we find it in our heart. That's the great thing about us.
And what I have read is true.
Indeed.
I wasn't paying attention. What's the question? Everyone seems to be giving speeches.
Alonzo, we simply have to complete the task.
Wait,
Fantastic.
also, we voted that you would be the one to carry this elderly person upon your back as we climb.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jafar,
I
you said that I was lazy. I am not lazy. For years I have toiled at your behest to produce the honey wine. Why do you write these things in your journal?
Oh, no, this isn't the time. Please refrain and hold your grudges for later. We have
Aye,
one
the wee
common
lass is
enemy.
right. He says, the wee lass is right. I shall listen to your command, Queen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. She'll be.
Oh, correct. We are the queens.
You have my blessing upon you. Let's
You have
move.
my axe until the end of time. Let us go to battle.
Perfect. Till the end of time. Fabulous.
Outstanding. That's a really long time, guys.
Let's go then.
I think.
You lead
Gideon,
the
let's
way.
go.
All right, I'm gonna pull this map back up really quickly. So what are we doing? Do we want to go the way he indicated? So that would
Yeah.
be through this door into the hallway.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna go there. So we open that door up.
Are we releasing the beetle though first?
Oh, yeah,
that-
let the
Do you
beetle
want to let
out.
the beetle out? All right.
Yeah.
Or do we have to get honeycomb for the beetle, but that's around the corner.
You brought some. So you want to feed some to it?
Yeah.
So it nibbles on it. You slide it open, and then it trots out. So now this thing will be added to your party as well as an NPC.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And just to mention this,
all up.
Lightfoot loves secret passageways.
You can ride this thing as Nim, because you're so small.
Ooh.
Would
Oh,
she
you
let
love
me?
secret passageways. All right. So
Yeah.
when you open
Does
this
she-
up,
I'm gonna ask him. Does she like to be scratched or petted?
she appreciates a good oiling. There should be a saddle in one of these cells if you wish to ride her, but be gentle.
I do wish to ride her.
So you can see in its cell there's a saddle you can put on it. You want to
Oh,
get
Okay,
one?
good.
ever wanted.
And it makes some squeaky noises, but if you're a nature person, if you're gentle with
I
it,
am.
you can
I'm going
get
to
on it.
whisper sweet nothings, and I can communicate it without words, and I can tell it that I'm going to be gentle, and I appreciate all that it does for me, and all these things, and I'm going to ride him.
All
ride
right,
her.
so
On
Nim
Betsy!
are small enough to mount this creature, so you're considered mounted when you're on it, which in combat will be helpful. Otherwise, if you invoke this thing, it's an NPC. It doesn't really have a tag. Its tag is, I would say, giant beetle. So whatever would make sense that a giant beetle can do, you can invoke that as a tag. All right, so it's now in your party. All right, so I'm gonna throw open this hallway door.
Mm-hmm.
So Jafar, when you help him into this doorway, he feels around the edge of the door for what looks like a hidden stone, and he presses it in, and it slides, and he throws a switch in it, And you see that there's these nozzles in the hallway, and I'll pull this up because he's just bypassing the trap for you. Where is it? Yeah, it kind of the hallway is narrow. It looks like it has honeycomb surfaces to the walls, and there's these like nodules on the ceiling that are casting spotlights onto the floor. When he flips the switch, the spotlights turn off. And then you hear like turning in the walls. And then Jafar says, the trap is disabled now. You may pass.
Great.
You first.
Oh, you want Jafar to go first?
I'm carrying him,
please.
aren't I?
Yeah, pick him up, right? He's kind of weak because he's been trapped under the earth.
Yes, I meant Alonzo first.
Alonzo, okay.
Alonzo and Jafar first. If it springs on Jafar, then we know it's not disabled.
The man said it was disabled. Oh Jesus! That's just
I was watching and
Love it.
listening. I'm sure it's disabled. I know about things.
See, I trust her. She knows what she's speaking of.
And yesterday I was sure there were no such thing as robot bees.
I'll
You're
walk
so
in there.
cool.
All right. When you walk
I'll walk
into the
right
middle
in
of it,
there.
nothing happens once you're in the middle of it. And you're about halfway to the other side. There's a door.
Were we through the? Are we?
Oh,
Right.
it should be showing. Do you guys see the
Yeah,
image I
that's
put up?
another map.
Oh, so try to refresh. It looks like Albert isn't refreshing. So I want to refresh their
I will
screens.
hit refresh.
Yeah.
here first.
Oh, I got
Oh.
hallway.
There we go.
Like Albert's not helping.
There's a
Albert.
whole
Misbehaving.
thing.
There you go.
So I would suggest. I mean, Jafar is carrying this guy because he literally I think I'm the only one of the four of us that could actually carry him. Because you're all
That's true.
you're all a disadvantage at mighty and not mighty. I'm like,
And we see Lightfoot's in the middle. What was it? Lightfoot or was it Fen that went in the middle? One of you's in the middle
I'll go
of
in
the
the middle.
room.
I'm on the beetle, so I'll go.
The beetle traps through.
Yep.
yeah, oh, do we want to let the beetle? Do we want to let
Seems
the beetle
fine.
lead or Lightfoot lead?
They already walked halfway through the middle of the room.
Oh,
The
okay.
hallway. It seems nothing seems to happen.
I mean, I will continue following after them, carrying the old
So you're
man.
gonna cross the hallway.
I'm stepping
Yes,
very
hallway.
cartoony, gingerly, while carrying him.
And he
Turn him like a babe.
Yeah, literally, I'm just like this, and he starts talking. I'm like, shh. I just put my finger on his
he's about to say like such trepidation.
no.
So you get across the other side. The trap is truly disabled. And there's some steps that lead up to a trap door. And Jafar tells you this is the trap door of the kitchen. He says, if Felix has executed his plan, I imagine my inn is full of his men.
I would like to ask a question. Did the other end of the secret door, did that get closed?
Oh, you can close it if you like.
Well, I'm in the front.
still open, yeah.
Yeah, whoever's in the back, could they close that?
That'll
Close that
probably
door.
be me. I'll go ahead and close it.
I'd like
Right.
to not be followed.
Yeah, I'd like to not be in the front, so we're good.
Maybe reset the trap.
You want to reset the trap? So then he instructs, he says, whoever here is best with their fingers, depress the panel, and he explains exactly what to do on the other side. So once you're all on one side, he tells whoever wants to interface with this, you push a panel in, you slide it out, and then you flip the switches up. And the spotlights come back down again.
You know
Alright,
what? I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Flip it, it's on, you hear some turning in the walls, and those lights turn back on.
Can you
All right, so you're
Sorry.
under a trap door currently.
Please.
What's the move here? Do we bring the bees back in, or we just go willy nilly?
I feel like
Well,
this whole
there's
thing.
a lot of men.
This whole thing is about the bees, so they should be involved.
So, can you hear anything, Lightfoot, through the trap door? Is there anybody in the kitchen?
I will listen.
Listen in. All right. So give me a check. So a deft check. So deft, d6 plus deft, and then if you have anything to help you with listening, you add a +2.
Is that
Yeah,
one
that's
dice
a
for this
check.
or two?
So you have advantage. So 2 dice take the best result. Yep. And I'll do this as a success check.
Okay, I will take the 5.
Yep.
And then I add what to it?
So
Perception?
you're deft, and then if you have perception plus a +2.
Okay, so 7.
Mm-hmm. And then the +2 is 9 or 7 total.
No, 7 total. I can't think of anything else that would help me.
So normally you would have to declare this beforehand because it's new players. I'm sure.
Sure.
You have could one of your story tags apply? Something to do with your conflict apply to this to give you another +2.
My conflict.
So what's your conflict? You're the fugitive, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for it. Hang on. Where'd it go?
So, like I said, normally you would have to say this before you make the roll, and it's decide. But this is a learning experience. So I think that's my appeal to the GM. Obviously, he could be an evil bastard and just shoot me down in front of the stream. But
I want to see some story tags happen.
Yeah. So, sorry, but
No. So are you referring to the fugitive one?
Yeah.
Or to my conflict?
So your conflict is the fugitive. Right now, I don't think you did the tags right, so we could probably write one really quickly on this. And that as a fugitive, were you like chased? Were like, well, how would you be a perceptive person in this? In your
I'm definitely constantly looking over my shoulder, on the lookout for those that I
like eyes in the back of my head.
Yeah, just constantly looking over my shoulder, looking for the people that that were dressed the way they were where I was captive.
Mm-hmm.
Any sign of those types, or Kendra in any fashion.
All right, so let's say you have a tag that's called looking over my shoulder will be fine.
Okay.
And then we're gonna invoke that tag right now, which will give you a +2, so that takes you to 9, right?
Okay.
So that's success at a cost. So you do hear low talking up there, but you're not certain how many people are in the room.
Let me see what I got left.
Run out of steam.
I got lots left. I'm going to transform. Whatever I transform into, we're going to have some way of coding, because it's just ridiculous for me to keep flipping back and forth to communicate with you fools. So I'm going to become a little spider, and I'm going to climb up in and I'm going to have 8 legs. I'll tell you how many people are there.
By crevice in the trapdoor.
Are you going to write words with your web?
Oh, even better.
Nice.
Yes. If you guys can't figure out the whole number leg thing, then yes, I will write words with my web.
You're going to squeeze through maybe a crack in the wood to pop out on the other side of the trapdoor first, to peek with your 8 eyes. Many eyes.
A little teeny spider.
You're looking up there. So you're looking up, you're in the kitchen floor. You can see beneath you is a giant, from your perspective, a giant Nim. He's got a long beard. He's wearing overalls, and he's looking down at a kitchen desk. Across from him, there's another man that looks like the ones that you killed. Not the giant burly guy, but the retainer-looking guys. And he's looking down also at something on the table, and they're quietly discussing what they're seeing. The gist of their conversation is something like, hopefully with 5 vessels at our command, we will be able to make enough coverage to attack sites A and B. And then the other one says, your math is slightly off. Kendra's airship is large enough to take up this facility. And they're just discussing some kind of strategic movement.
Okay. So I'm going to scurry down.
Yeah, and the web.
And I'm going to put up 2 legs. 2 legs.
So there's 2.
And I give two legs up again. Because I don't know how to. Does a spider nod?
First syllable. Come on. Is it movie, book?
How much
So
time do I have
assume
left,
it's-
just to be clear?
About 10
Are you
minutes.
gonna fight like
Okay.
that?
All right. I just want to see where I am. All right. So you know she's indicated either with her webbing or sticking out two little legs that there are
Go
two
back and
up
forth.
there.
Yeah, there's two people up there.
Is there any kind of role I can do? I think I don't have the skill I would need, but is there any kind of role I can do to understand the implications of the sites they're talking about attacking?
Oh, yeah. So, well, you'll need that information conveyed to you though, because only Fen heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, of
So
course.
I'm asking
But
Fen.
yes, you'll be able to figure that out once you know.
Fen,
Ben, what did you hear?
Memory, Steve, you
fight
say?
battles like that?
Bring it over, Fen.
Sorry, what were you saying, Lightfoot?
Oh, I was asking Fen, do you intend to fight battles like this?
Are you a black widow spider, Fen? Because those are quite poisonous.
Yes, but not immediately.
Venomous.
I just shake my body and turn back into Finn and go, you guys are ridiculous. There's two people up there. They're talking strategy. They're talking about how many airships they're going to take out. Blah, 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 blah. There's a NIM man. There's a regular man.
So to answer your
ridiculous.
question, Lyra and the Thirsty, it's based on what Fen has described. It would seem they're talking about military action as far as using airships is concerned. But beyond that, you need to see what they're looking at. And they did mention Kendra's airship in particular.
Yeah. So I don't
Word for
know
word, I
what
told
they
you.
were referring to in terms of exact places.
You had to pop
So I didn't
out.
hear you.
I don't know exactly which places they were referring to.
It seems like they're looking at something that indicates that.
Copy.
Mhm.
Like, maybe I should bring out my bees again.
Yeah.
Not summon them.
And so I do that, and I call the hive mind to like.
Second usage. All right. So you're gonna dial into this location. Second usage of your hive mind. So after about 10-15 minutes, you're hearing a buzzing in that room, and then you hear the other man said, "These damn bees are getting inside. I thought they were controlled." And then the other voice, the NIM voice, is like, "Oh yes, Edwin has full control over them. I don't understand. These must be rogue bees. Get the spray." And then you hear some ruffling and some noise. So what I need to do now is I need you to make a check against them to see if they sting them. So I'm going to roll against that. So it's a d6 plus your deft, and if you have thaumaturgy, you add a +2. I'm gonna have first this guy. Oh, it's a retainer.
As always, as a NIM, you have advantage on deft.
Oh my gosh, you did not roll the 1 on that. Roll 2 ones, but not a critical. First,
I
he had
wanted to
advantage.
so bad.
So that's a 7, 8, 9, and then the other one. It's a 4, 8. So a 9 and an 8.
Right.
So what
So
did you
thanks
roll?
for telling me I had advantage because I rolled again and I got another 6.
Oh, so that explodes.
Yes, and then I rolled a 4, so that's a 10 plus my deft is a 14.
14. Wow. All right. So you hear the hive mind, you hear some commotion, and then a yelp, and then a door opening, and then you hear a slump.
I'm like, I love these bees. They're so
And
cool.
then you hear some shouting outside of that room.
All right, let's get up here quickly, guys.
Time is of the essence.
I'm going to pop that door open.
Flip this trap open.
Yep.
Right.
And
Get in.
am I near that table?
Let's see which you guys felt. Okay. So when you come out, you're like, it's maybe like 5 feet away, the table that she described. And you can see there's kitchen supplies all around you. There's a paper wrap on top of it. If you get up, you can see that there's like a map laid out on the table. But the door to the kitchen is flat open, and you can see the bar. And as soon as you're up there, you can hear a lot of activity in beyond the kitchen.
Okay. I'd like to dash and grab that before
Grab paper. Go down.
That roll it up and get it tucked away, and then I don't know, hide in the cupboard or something.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna hide in the kitchen. All right. So the trapdoor's
Yeah.
open. You got the map.
Yeah.
You hear there's commotion beyond. The door is flapping because the person went through it. You're hearing like lots of voices. You're hearing things being moved. It feels like furniture moving. Lots of footsteps, all outside, and it's dark in the kitchen. What's the rest of you guys doing? So you saw Lightfoot pop up there and stay up there.
I just kind of react to quick little fuck, and I'm gonna walk up to kind of assess the situation. I mean, I feel better not being in a hole than being in the kitchen, but definitely like hearing commotion. I'm gonna get in a defensive position in the room.
You're hearing footsteps approaching. You're hearing commotion as there's a lot of people outside because you're in the first floor again. Like imagine like a full restaurant. That's the sound out there.
Oh.
The door is flapping closed, but you're hearing footsteps approaching.
For clarity, it was not that full when we were last there.
No, it was very dead. So what I would like to do, since we're closing on this, I want to get everyone's current positioning. I want you to position yourselves in here because I'm going to pull up that map. Because I'm sure once you're all in there, you can kind of peek out really quick.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that just so you get a sense of what you're dealing with next time.
So I'm going to pop up there too.
Yes, you're all going to get up there. So obviously you are actually in here.
A night version of it.
Ooh.
Look at that.
You're in this room. So this guy's not in there anymore. And I'm going to let you see this. You're peeking out there, but let's see, this guy's unconscious. There's a man laying next to that table. It's the one that was stung. So once you're all in this room, and I can put your tokens on here, but whomever maybe peeks out, you can see that there are a lot of men, and there's a lot of equipment that has been piled up in the center of the room. But there are men crawling all over this place. And let me just put your tokens out here real quick.
Lightfoot's hiding in a cupboard in here, right?
Yes, you guys can place yourselves.
I brashly walked up and just kind of like the door, just like give it like a quick look. I'm not that stealthy, but I'm not trying to be obnoxious either and get us caught. But I'm gonna report back to them like either we come up with a clever ruse or we're in for a Donnybrook.
Question: is the fireplace active right now? Is there fire?
Yes, it's not in the picture, but it is on. Yes.
Oh.
Let me put Jafar in here. Everyone in this room who's in here, and you got your dwarf.
I'm gonna hop on Betsy again.
Guys, I just have one question. Could we not have arrived here one night earlier?
What? How did you do that?
Could we not have arrived here one night earlier? We would have slept. We would have left. There would have been no influx, no fleet of airships, no starving bees. Well, there would have been starving bees, but we wouldn't have cared.
I would have cared.
Not be one to say I told you so, but I will remind you, you're the one that made us stop over in Venice to try on some kind of frou-frou pantyhose. I didn't even know what you were wearing.
The leggings of the high people are serious business.
While that's happening, can I strip the Nim and the top and dress?
So the unconscious retainer. You can search the unconscious retainer. He has a cross. There's only one guy. It's crossbow, and he has a bastard sword and one supply. So if you roll a d6, you'll see what supply is on him.
I rolled a 1.
1, so consumable.
Okay.
Take it out, that's your inventory. He's like unconscious and sleeping like the other one who was stung. But there's a lot of commotion out there. So you can position yourselves. You can think about what you're going to do next, but next session is what will proceed from there.
Okay. I mean, we all are going to have to go through this door or this window, right? So I don't see any reason to position ourselves too carefully inside the kitchen.
Like there's a little serving window here. This is the entrance. In fact, when the door was flapping, you could see that Zara is standing at the bar serving some of these men, and they're coming up and down the stairs carrying stuff. And they're sorting.
So can I ask Fat Bottom? Can I ask him where we would have ended up if we would have climbed out of the honeycomb room?
Oh yes, he explains here. That's where you went down.
Now-
we would have
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
come out the grate that was.
Mm-hmm. He explains that's
outside.
the exit vent for the bees so they can seek food in the desert.
Well, that might be strategically a little bit better than where we are now.
He says,
Oh,
"I-
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, I'm open my cupboard. Look, we've got tables. We can put stuff in front of the doors. We've got a little window here. You can shoot people. You bring them in. She takes her bees. Some of them get stung. Somebody needs to slit this guy's throat, by the way. Again.
Oh, I'm already doing that, dude. Don't worry.
all right, you can slit that guy's throat. He's
Yeah, I
dead."
was doing that right away. Yeah.
Just slowly, like a butter knife. You pick up a butter knife and just saw his throat off.
Yeah, don't want to make too much noise.
I grab an apple and I'm
Just eating an apple. So this map, by the way, when you roll it open, it looks like a map of the world. And there are circles on different parts of the world with X's on them. And there's lots of kind of indications of attack movements. From at a glance, it looks like a world domination strategy. And it's
right.
indicating a fleet of airships that would execute the strategy.
Oh,
and I
please.
wanted to
Told
hand
you,
that
Quinn was a
to,
bitch.
I wanted, yeah.
Wow,
I
someone
wanted to hand that to Thirsty.
Okay.
You know, it's a
While,
thirst.
while we still have time to tag,
For.
while we still have a little time to tag something into the narrative here, Yurri, did I understand correctly that Takis will not be with us next week?
I'm tentative. I'm traveling, so I'm on the road, like a road trip. So we're supposed to come back that day. So hopefully I'll be back in time for the session.
Okay, so Takis faints and might wake up.
All right. If she
Takis
doesn't
is a fucking
arrive,
apologist and should be thrust from this. I'm kidding. I'd love to have you.
and
play,
if you can't make it, well, turn your character into an NPC basically,
Sounds
and
good.
hopefully not kill them.
and we will totally.
We'll shove you in the
not
closet.
do that the whole time.
And so where we
My
are,
pantry. I am Lear and Lightfoot.
in terms of strategically where we are, so you have two NPCs in your party that are actionable. So you've got the bug, right, which you can mount or you can call it as a tag. You have the dwarf, the Ember Dwarf. Jafar isn't someone you can invoke because he's a non-adventuring character.
But
He has intelligence, but his daughter's also non-adventuring. But she can be part of your party, but she won't do anything. She's not the type of person who can fight and help.
Poison.
She cannot mechanically do anything. Just to be very clear, neither of them can. They're not NPCs. Yeah.
We can't use her as a vehicle to administer poison to people from food. She's serving them.
You can have her do stuff, but she's
I'll give
not
you a fate point.
critical component of the adventure unless you give me something. She's not an NPC. That's my point.
Okay.
But anyway, those are at your disposal. You have your little, I think, 4 uses of your hive mind, right? But what my advice going forward is continue to think as clever as you are, because you will be vastly outnumbered potentially, right? So you gotta think clever, and you gotta think, how do you get yourselves through this situation?
Alonzo,
I'm
maybe you
wondering-
can staircase them to death.
The serving window, she's right at the serving window behind the bar, right?
Yep. So there's ways you can think. I mean, you can use her in that capacity. What I mean is, like, she's not a character that will add any bonuses to your rolls. Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great work, guys.
All
session.
right. Thank you, Daniel, so much.
Yay!
This is a great
No problem.
adventure. I'm having a blast in this one. Sorry if I was a little distracted tonight. We had a little bit of
no.
tech issues, but
You're managing a lot of things.
yeah, next week we'll be back just to Twitch, I think. So I should be all the way in it. But yeah, thank you so much for running this. It's great.
Thank you, guys. You guys are hilarious. I just love it. I love when you guys get into it.
All right. So yeah, thank you everyone. We'll see everyone Friday for Shadows of Archonia 2, episode 28, in which Yurri has just bombed a city that she's supposed to be friendly to. So we'll see what's going on with that. And
Wasn't my fault.
yeah, no?
How dare
It's
you?
never our fault.
How dare
It's always an accident.
Who was the captain of the Wayfarer, Yurri? Okay.
You know,
We'll
it was
see
the
everyone
wizard.
next.
It was the wizard who firebombed me first. I was just retaliating.
We'll see everyone next week for part 3 of this. And then after that, I think we're finishing up Pirate Borg and then on into Dungeon / Remastered, which I haven't read yet, but it sounds cool. We'll see you guys then. Thanks so much.